What's up, Mooncutter Sportscast fans? Geoffrey Curry, as always. And tonight, we are getting excited because we are 2 days away from the granddaddy of them all. It is everyone's favorite time of year when it comes to wrestling fans because we are getting prepared for the spectacle that is going to be WrestleMania 39, WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. And I just got to say, I'm excited for tonight because not only am I back after a 2-month hiatus due to, let's just say, being overworked with my layoff jobs and death in the family that kind of took my mind out of it. So I apologize that I never covered the Super Bowl. I apologize that I didn't cover any of the NFL offseason moves yet. I apologize that I haven't been keeping you up to date on hockey. But there's always time to make up for that. And I plan on doing so moving forward. That being said, what better way to get back into the swing of things than bringing back some old friends? Starting with Bryan and Carlos from the Wrestling Fans Incite Podcast. How you guys doing? It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Doing good. And kind of to your opening, what a better way to make a comeback with a stable.
Woo! I like it. How you doing, Carlos?
I'm good, man. First of all, condolences for the loss you had in your family, man. That sucks. But I'm definitely glad that we get to be a part of you getting back into your groove. And I definitely think that, that's what, making friends like this on Twitter's for, and just, talking some wrestling and shooting the shiz. I think that's a good thing. And I'm glad that we're a part of this with you again, and glad you invited us back.
Oh, yeah. Man, I'm not even all the way through the introduction here, and I've already got 3 comments on here. I love it.
Nice.
We'll give shout outs to them in just a minute here, because not only am I bringing old friends back to the mix, but I've got a new one for the fans.
Wait, is there a fourth man?
Yeah, there's a 4th person coming. I guess we could call this the
Who's the
WrestleMania 39 preview show for Horsemen.
There you go.
But for those of you that have been following RunningForce Productions, just know that we got a new show that's right around the corner that's going to be launched. And what better way to introduce you to its new host than to have him join me for the WrestleMania preview episode of Mooncutter Sportscast. Welcome, Dante, the Slice Man, to the panel.
Welcome.
Welcome.
How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How you hanging in there?
Oh, no complaints. Get a little bit closer to your mic, though, because you're starting to get quiet again. But anyways, let's just start with, we already did the introductions. Like, everybody knows who's on screen now. So let's go with just a brief background on each of our wrestling history as fans. I know Carlos and Bryan, we've already done this when we had you on for the Royal Rumble episode, but to remind the fans and Dante for them to get your answers. And we're going to start with favorite moments in wrestling, favorite wrestling memories.
For me?
Whoever wants to go first.
Go. Let the new guy go first.
Wrestling memories. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, I've been in it about 10 years, and wrestling memories definitely involves that man in the yellow shirt.
Oh, okay. We're talking like personal wrestling memories, not as a fan. Well, it was as a fan, but go ahead, give your answer first, because I want to hear this.
I don't know about number one favorite, but I'll tell you what, my man, I still got that picture of you dressed as Santa Claus, and me and my ex-tag partner, we're like sitting on your lap. This man had the dumbest look on his face. As the ring announcer dressed like Santa Claus, he had the dumbest look on his face. When CRW ran at that boxing gym, that was probably some of my favorite times. I feel like I had some very good matches there.
See, when you said me dressed as Santa Claus, I thought you were going to talk about me eating 3 super kicks from Mira and getting carried to the back by our dearly departed friend. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, fuck.
It is, but I just want to watch you struggle.
No, I've been drinking since I got off work tonight. So
Here we go.
Yesterday.
Michael Blade had to carry me to the backstage.
Ah, rest in peace, Michael Blade.
Yeah, but I thought that's where you were going with that. But now, as a fan, answer what's your favorite memory? What's your favorite memory from wrestling as a fan?
Oh man. You know what? I'm old. I think it's just my age. I'm more of a ruthless aggression era guy. So for me, I'd say for me,
Would you go lay down?
it kind of started whenever Shawn Michaels came back in 2002 and feuded with Triple H. I thought that was great. That's one of my favorite feuds of all time.
It was really good.
Without thinking too much, I'll just go with that one.
Okay. Whoever wants to go next.
Yeah, I'll jump in.
Go ahead, Brian.
For me, it was Saturday night's main event. I randomly just turned on the TV with my buddies, and we were, like most kids, staying up late, just clicking through stuff, trying to find a reason to stay awake. And I got hooked, right? And it was these two larger than life guys, Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. And I just never seen anything like it. And I was hooked to like every Saturday morning and every Saturday night, and then my friends as well. And we just, that WrestleMania 6 era was like the first time I've ever really fell in love with wrestling, just kind of couldn't let go of it. And then as I grew up, it was the Attitude Era, and that's probably when I was a really cocky teenager. And, so it just kind of went with as I grew up. And as I'm older now, I'm like, ooh, I want to learn about the business. I want to learn how they did all this cool stuff that I enjoyed as a kid. So that was kind of my fandom.
Okay. Carlos?
Right, so I'm gonna give three real quick. So like Brian too, I gotta say like WrestleMania 6, because like the Ultimate Warrior was my first guy. He started off he started off just a new guy coming in, and seeing someone that I became a fan to right away, like winning the Intercontinental title, and then also seeing him beat Hogan for the world title. Like I remember WrestleMania 6, like you talked about earlier about, we were asking off the air about the person. I remember running around like going like this, like the Ultimate Warrior, stuff like that as a kid. When he won. Also, I was there at No Way Out when Eddie Guerrero won the world title at the Cow Palace in San Francisco. Being there in person to see him win it live, especially being Hispanic, that was just a really cool moment, and I'll never forget that moment. And then also just recently, I was at AEW Revolution all weekend. I went to Rampage, I went to Revolution, and then I went to a bowling event. I went to go see Max Caster rap, and I also went to Dynamite Live. And for me, the going to Dynamite, because I was front row, like that was an amazing experience. So just recently too, like you said, he like Chris Jericho threw his wrist tape at me. It was a lot of cool moments that didn't even get captured on TV, man. That was a fun time. I recommend anybody, if you can ever go see something live and go front row, pay the money and see it. It was an awesome experience.
Nice.
Sorry,
One of the things
Go
I've
ahead
always
for a minute. There's
enjoyed
I'm
about
gonna let
wrestling.
you guys talk for a second. Somebody just walked into my house. I gotta deal with.
Sure.
Very professional.
Favorite WrestleMania moments for you guys? What was it?
Well, WrestleMania 31, because I was there. So seeing, like, I was there at Santa Clara, so seeing Seth Rollins come out and cash in on Roman, because, like, again, I wasn't a fan of Roman Reigns then. I wasn't a fan of Brock Lesnar either. So and then getting to be there and see, like, the first cash in live at WrestleMania was really cool. And then that's when Randy Orton hit the RKO on Seth Rollins too. So those events were really, really cool moments. So like, and then again too, like seeing Sting at WrestleMania too, like even though he lost, he should have won. But that was cool. Like, WrestleMania 31, having the NWO come out with the DX, like it was really well done. It was like it's my favorite WrestleMania that I was, it's up there for me just because I was there. I thought it was a really cool WrestleMania.
Nice.
Oh, I bet that was awesome.
All right. Sorry, my sister's boyfriend had to borrow my car and he was just returning my keys.
Cool.
But anyways, for me, this is going to be a two-part answer because the thing that solidified my love of wrestling was as a kid, like 7, 8, I would, while my mother was working, I would be spend a lot of time on the weeknights with my grandfather, and he would always religiously tune in for Nitro. And for me, like growing up, my earliest memories of watching wrestling was like DDP winning the WCW championship And for the longest time, and at that point, he was my first favorite wrestler. So that's one of them. And as a more memorable for me, like over the years watching as a fan, nothing beats the crowd reaction that you saw at One Night Stand 06 for the RVD versus Cena match. Like that was the most passion I've ever seen from a wrestling audience. And I don't think it's ever going to be duplicated.
Yeah. Call that crazy. But, that was a moment like where John Cena kind of won me over. I mean, liked him enough, but like he went in there, like there was not anybody in that building that liked this man. And he went in there and did his job. And I was like, wow, that guy is going to be able to march through hell for this company. And obviously he became like the face of it. And so he kind of won me a lot of respect from me because, man, he threw his shirt out in the crowd. Remember that? And they kept throwing it back.
And they threw it back like 3 times before he finally said, screw this.
Yeah. I mean, he was just like, I don't have nobody loving me in this building. Like, and you could tell it, and that could be mentally draining for a performer. Right. And he just rolled with it. So I agree with you. That was pretty epic.
Yeah. He was so used to being cheered and being Superman for years. You know, when you walked into that hostile crowd in Philly and it was like the opposite of what he's used to. He just kind of said, all right, well, guess what? I'm going to show you something.
What about the look on RVD's face when the first guy threw the shirt back? Where he did the whole.
Well, and then he walked over to John when it kept happening, and he was like, almost like give it up. It's not going to happen in this building. So, yeah.
All right. Anyways, couple shout outs here for fans. We got Glenn Stockhausen saying hi, good morning. I even though it's 10 o'clock at night and he is East Coast, so I'm confused by that one. Jimmy Lopez, my buddy from that I play Supercard with. Yo, Jimmy, what's up?
Yo,
what's up? Yo, Chico.
Kayla, which is another person on my Supercard team. What's up, Killer? How you been? And then some Twitch comments, but I'm going to ignore all these Twitch comments because none of them even make sense. So, JFK moment. My dad beat my mom. John whipped it out. Oh, John whipped it out about throwing the T-shirt.
John whipped it out. The shirt.
I thought that meant something else.
Right. I would let. All right, we're done here because now I'm seeing comments that says I would let my kids out of the basement for ass cam. I don't know who the hell you are, but you're a sick fuck.
He's trying to get some trolls there. Well, that's something fun on Twitter. It's trolls, so be prepared for that. So
that's not even Twitter. That's Twitch.
They're everywhere.
Which I did not realize Twitch got comments on here. So cool. Anyway, so we already did favorite wrestling memories. And I know this is going to be a repeat for the 3 of us, but what is your favorite promotion to watch?
I'll start off. So for me, it's AEW. Like I said, and then recently going there live too, and getting to meet the wrestlers. Like I got to go to like a bowling event with them, and it's like a rock concert, man. And so for me, like again, it's new and fresh. So for me, I love the promotion. Like they have stuff they need to work on, but overall, like I just like the fact that they. I think they take care of their talent, only making them work like 1 day a week. Maybe they just house shows. I just think it's overall better off for the talents. What do you call it? The talents, health, and again, just for me, AEW. That's my favorite promotion.
Okay, I'm laughing at this one. I'm laughing at this one. Bro, why is Jesus in this call? Top right.
The Messiah is back.
That one was good. But anyways, all right. Carlos is AEW.
For me, best wrestling promotion, AEW. Best sports entertainment promotion, WWE.
Oh, that's that chicken shit answer.
Okay.
Well, AEW.
Okay, France.
The production, right? Atmosphere. And I respect the entertainment aspect of that. But when I want to see pay-per-view with not a lot of entertainment value as far as backstage scenes and production like movie like, I'm going to watch AEW for the wrestling in back-to-back matches. So it kind of depends on what mood I'm in, but I enjoy both products in addition to some other ones.
Dante?
Trying to not sound cliche here, but yeah, if you want pure entertainment, I'm a storyline guy. I want whatever promotion I'm watching, I want it to make me want to tune in. WWE's the king. That's the obvious answer. But right now, honestly, I think one promotion out there that's very underrated is actually NWA. Now that I've been following every week. They come out 2 shows a week, and I keep up on it. And I actually think it's very underrated. They got some really great talent. It's a pretty good mix of, you got your storylines, and then you got like your really kick-ass, like high spot matches, and then you got your comedy spots. And they kind of go with like an old school type of vibe because their moniker is wrestling as it's meant to be. And I do believe that if you're a fan of like old school NWA, you just want to see some good wrestling, some good storylines. I think NWA is really good right now. Just the way they keep it simple too. Yeah, they have good matches. Yeah, they perform in front of, they don't perform in front of the biggest buildings, but it's enough to where the crowd can kind of, the crowd and the workers can kind of feed off each other's energy. And I think right now it's a really solid product. So now I'm really digging NWA. I'm digging the simplicity because it reminds me of an indie show. It reminds me of like going to your local bingo hall or something down the road and just getting some good old fashioned like good performances. It's not overdone with the promos. Some people say WWE's overdone with promos and stuff. It's a very good mix. So for me right now, I'm going to NWA.
I have a follow-up question for it. For anybody that's not currently like watching NWA, who do you think are like the 2 must-see wrestlers like that they should start with to get hooked?
Oh, you talking about for NWA?
Yeah, for NWA. Like, who would you recommend, say, if you're going to watch an NWA match, this is the one you're going to want to watch. You're going to watch this talent or this person.
Well, Tyrus right now is their heavyweight champion. I think he's doing good things. He's going on, like the news shows talking about politics, getting his name out there. He was also known for whenever he was in WWE. He's got a good look. He's a good worker. I say Tyrus is definitely up there. Me personally, I am a huge fan of the Pope. I think his name is Elijah Burke in WWE. Yep. I think he's really underrated. That man is a great promo.
Isn't he also retired at this point?
No. Well, I haven't seen him lately. I think he's still active though. But that's one of my favorite talents personally in NWA. You got to watch the Pope. He has got charisma. He's got character.
Yeah, I've enjoyed his work. I didn't realize
maybe I'm confusing him with Orlando Jordan, another former WWE guy that took the same
the guy that used to be
took the career. Because another former WWE guy that was a mid-carder there that took the same career trajectory after WWE. I might be mistaken, but I think this is hilarious because we have 4 guys here to sit and talk about WrestleMania.
And you're gonna say Impact Wrestling, aren't you?
Well, no shit. You already know the answer to that, Carlos. Come on, where the fuck were you in January?
Yep, I know. I remember.
But yes, we have 4 guys. When asked the question of what is your favorite promotion to ask, we got 4 different answers because this guy is AEW, this guy's WWE, this guy's NWA, and this guy is going to say Impact. One, I love Impact for the fact that they made the whole women's revolution before WWE even thought of it.
Yeah.
The fact that like their women's division has been being pushed strongly for years. I mean, come on, back in like 2005 to 2007.
Oh, it was golden year.
Most people's biggest reason to tune in to TNA and the thing that was the most entertaining and had the best storylines going for TNA at that time was the beautiful people. Mickie James has been pushed how strongly recently with her last rodeo tour. Like just women's wrestling is they're the first promotion I'm aware of that's had a female world heavyweight champion.
Yeah, Tessa, right?
Yeah, until her mouth got her fired, but yeah.
Yeah.
But on top of that, for the longest time, it's been like, which program has the best overall like wrestling? And I'm going to take it to say that better than it's always had better pure wrestling than WWE, even back to the AJ Styles days, Aces and Eights, all that. And I'd say even now with the roster they've got, the pure wrestling, like the in-ring action, is still better than none.
Okay,
Or better than second to none, rather. Sorry.
So going back to what Brian asked me, okay, if you don't watch Impact, dude, it's TNA. I'm always calling it TNA.
Impact Wrestling. It's called Impact.
If you don't, I know it's called Impact, but like for me, it's always be TNA. But okay, so for somebody who doesn't watch TNA right now, who are some of the top performers that you would say, hey, at least check these guys or gals out?
Jordan Grace, I would definitely say, from the women's division. The heavyweight champion, Josh Alexander, the walking weapon.
Not anymore. He had to get the belt set. Come on now.
Son of a bitch. Oh, most of my watching of Impact is on the Impact channel, which doesn't have the live shit. It's all replays from from like a month and a half.
Yeah, he got injured in Mexico, I think. So he had to give up the belt.
But Rich Swann, Eddie Edwards.
Oh, Rich Swann. I didn't know he was in TNA.
Yeah, I remember him.
The former, what was he called in WWE?
Come on, Joe Henry. I believe in Joe Henry. Come on now.
Yeah, Joe Henry from who rose to prominence.
Deanna Prazo.
Oh, yes, the virtuosa. Giselle Shaw, who is one of the biggest trans names in the business. Second only to, what is that girl's name from AEW again?
Nyla Rose, yes.
The fact that watching Impact, you never had the Motor City Machine Guns are still active and still killing it.
That's impressive.
And just so everyone knows, they're putting on a really impressive multiverse show tonight. It's actually going on. I think it's going on right now, or it's going to be going on. But it's like they're doing with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and they got all these like dream matches. So again, if you find that on today and you never watched Impact before, tonight would be a good show to watch. It's called the Multiverse, and it's like them with like Kushida's on there tonight. It's like an amazing pay-per-view. They do it every year during WrestleMania weekend for like the last 2 or 3 years.
And then
but don't go watch. Don't leave this channel right now.
Don't leave right now. Yeah, but watch it afterwards. Yeah.
You can catch the replay, people. You can catch the replay.
Yeah.
And then two other big names that you should know, Dante, but you might know them. You might know them by different names, but two other big names that have been in Impact a lot lately: Matt Cardona and Brian Myers.
Nice.
You would know them as Zack Ryder and
I know who that is.
What was Myers' name in WWE?
Kurt Hawkins.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you like, Matt Cardona / Zack Ryder, you like, late 2000s, early 2010s.
So they're in NWA too. He's in NWA too.
Yeah, I would say watch NWA because.
So I do watch NWA. I don't agree with you. I think Tyrus is a bad champion. I just think the way he wrestles is kind of lackadaisical. But I do love NWA, and like Pollo Del Mar is actually my fraternity brother. So again, they have a drag queen on there as a manager. So I definitely agree for NWA too. Like it's an awesome with the Thrubilly. Thrubilly's an awesome wrestler. He's
that man's got intensity, and like the beautiful people, Angelina Love, active wrestler on NWA right now. Velvet Sky, she does commentary.
EC3's on there now too. Yeah.
Bully Ray's doing his Bully Ray gimmick. Matt Cardona is also NWA. So is Kurt Hawkins or whatever his name is. Yeah.
So I got a special spot in my heart for Velvet Sky because I was supposed to interview Jeff Hardy and he no-showed me, and TNA sent Velvet Sky instead. And I mean, I was kind of like Velvet Sky, and then I'm like, all right, Velvet Sky, and so, I mean, I wasn't complaining too much. But
now, was this a live in-person interview, or was this like video chat?
It was on the radio, on a local radio, and so that was when I lived in Arkansas for about a year, and they were doing a show, and I don't know, that was in, I hate to bring it up, that was in Jeff Hardy's kind of drug addiction years.
So 2011, got it.
Yeah.
So,
So
his
it
whole
was,
TNA career.
yeah, and he was already known for not showing events to where you could tell they had a Jeff Hardy protocol to send somebody in place of him for these promotional events. So
That match with him and Sting, I'll never forget that. Oh, that was so horrid.
yeah.
All right, so we are already a half hour into this discussion, and we haven't even talked about WrestleMania.
Let's do it.
But I think the main thing too is I want us to just enjoy your wrestling, man. That's the thing I do. Like I watch all of it, So if I have time, I'll watch New Japan. I'll watch and I watch TNA. I watch Major League Wrestling too. Like I don't like tribalism in wrestling. I'm all for more job for the talent. Independent wrestling too. I'm going to a show in 2 weeks. I think just support wrestling and support the talent. Just enjoy it and don't be tribal. Because there's a lot of great things going on right now. Like again, I love that. I like how NWA and Impact both utilize their rosters and always everyone's in a storyline. Like I think that's beautiful stuff now. And again, watch it all.
Absolutely. And one thing about wrestling is what a lot of people don't understand. It's like music. It's like movies. It's like everybody has their personal taste. There's something for everybody. You want to watch a soap opera? Hey. You want something like really dramatic? Wrestling has got you covered. You want to see just pure action, 20 minutes of just high spots. You want to see flippy doos or whatever. Hey, wrestling's got you covered.
Meaty men stop and meet.
Even ECW back in the day, caught heat from guys like Jerry Lawler because it was so different. It was just a bunch of guys hitting each other with trash cans. It was real raw, and it was They took it like the risque and the language and the violence, everything to a new level. And at the time, some people might have said, that's not wrestling, but a lot of people love it. That's the thing about wrestling. There's something for every taste out there,
Yeah. And I love your analogy you gave about music or a show. And I think that needs to be a Twitter tweet from you, and I'll retweet it because it's definitely very true. I like to always give the comic book comparison. It's DC, Marvel. You don't have to pick a team. You can like heroes on all shows. So
exactly. You just be a fan of wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it. Just watch. Just watch it, appreciate it. That's all there is to it.
Wise words. But anyways, we're gonna jump right into we're not actually even touching WrestleMania itself yet, something that used to be a part of WrestleMania that's still tied like finger in finger with WrestleMania, but we're going to start off with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And there's a lot of names in this. Bobby Lashley, Johnny Gargano, Dexter Lumis, Rick Boogs, Dolph Ziggler, Elias, Mustafa Ali, Xavier Woods, Madcap Moss, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Baron Corbin, Bronson Reed, Karrion Kross, where are we at? LA Knight, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin. Sorry, I'm just reading them as they come across because I lost it on here. Mason Mansoor, or as they're called now, part of the MMM stable. Masay Maswa, Top Dollar, Ashante the Adonis from Hit Row, Ridge Holland, and Pete Dunne. I'm sorry, Butch. Ugh. Angel Garza, Humberto de Correa, Santos Escobar, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde. Like, there's a lot of people in this match. It's going to be a hell of a battle royal. And it sucks that it's not part of WrestleMania itself anymore, that they're doing it for the past 4 years now, including this year on the Friday night beforehand. But all I got to say is, like, we're going to go more into depth with this, but let's first get predictions on winner for this. I know there's 2 former winners involved already with Madcap Moss and Baron Corbin. I know you three I've already told you 3 my prediction, so hopefully none of you steals it from me.
Where do we want to start?
I mean, if you want me to go first, I will, but
Go first. Go that first. Let's go clockwise.
All right, so me, Dante, Bryan, and then Carlos.
Yeah, there we go.
All I'm going to say is with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, you cannot have a WrestleMania weekend in Los Angeles without a big win from one LA Knight.
Yeah, that's a good impersonation, dude. Yeah, I liked it. Good job.
Yeah, that was good. Okay.
Sorry, I mixed a little bit of Wade Barrett and LA Knight there and Eli Drake there. So yeah, sue me. But I'm saying it with the push he's been having recently with his moments of getting into WrestleMania. He doesn't have a match on the weekend card. The only way he's going to be acknowledged and on stage during the showcase itself is to win this damn thing. And honestly, of the list of performers on there, lately he has hands down been the most entertaining. Dante?
Okay. So we talked before the show, and I asked you who this dude is, and I already forgot it. Okay, because I don't really keep up with see, like I'm bad with names. Like the roster's so big. Who is that big bowling ball looking motherfucker that?
Bobby Lashley.
No. He was in the Elimination Chamber this year. Austin Theory picked him up. The big ass dude. Austin Theory.
Oh, Bronson Reed.
Yes, I think I would like to see him win it. Just because it's Andre the Giant, I think that Battle Royals was his specialty. He was a big man. I think it would make sense for a big man to win it, and I think he is the new up and coming.
I'll let you three go. I'll be right back.
Okay. Thank you for interrupting me, you prick.
Sorry.
I know. Geez, that's twice now.
I think he's the guy. I think it would make sense to give him the win there because the Andre the Giant Battle Royal could be used to kind of launch a career of like a newer guy, and him being a big guy, he was already in the Elimination Chamber, put on a hell of a performance. That's who I'm going with.
Yeah, that's honestly, I like both of your guys' takes. I could see LA Knight because we're in Hollywood, right? And WWE likes their themes, right? So Bronson Reed definitely is getting pushed by them, and this is the exact kind of thing that he would win. I am going to go a different route, but I see it going either way with a few of these. I see a situation where the two-time winner or the one-time winners, possible two-time winners with Happy Corbin, Baron Corbin, whatever Corbin he is, going against Madcap Moss. I see them coming into this like final scene battle to try to become the two-time. However, Bobby Lashley is the one that just power dumps them both over and actually wins. And I see Bobby Lashley winning this thing, mostly because they got to throw him some kind of bone because I'm just going to say it. They kind of screwed him out of his WrestleMania moment this year. And not on purpose, but they got to throw him a bone and kind of give him something to make the weekend feel big in addition to anything they may have for him in the weekend if it's a surprise. So that's my pick, Bobby Lashley.
Right, so I combine into your picks. So I'm picking LA Knight because he's supposed to be getting a big push after WrestleMania, and it's kind of like the standard where like before you give somebody a push, you make them take some L's. Even though I really don't understand losing to Xavier Woods, like that had no storyline concept whatsoever. But I see LA Knight winning. I think he'll eliminate Bobby Lashley last. I see him coming out WrestleMania Sunday to brag about it, brag about winning the Battle Royal, and then we get a match with Bobby Lashley coming out to challenge LA Knight a match at WrestleMania, and that gives them both the WrestleMania moment. So I think LA Knight wins. He comes out to brag about it on WrestleMania Sunday, and we get an impromptu. Bobby Lashley comes out to confront him, and we get an impromptu match between LA Knight and Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania on Sunday. That's my prediction.
Interesting. So you're thinking we're gonna have a 14th match on the Mania card?
Absolutely, about 7 and 7. I'll say that it could be someone else, but yeah, I think that would be a surprise for people. Like I just see LA Knight coming out to brag about it, and then Bobby Lashley coming out, and we have an impromptu match, and that's how Bobby Lashley gets on the card, and that's also how LA Knight gets on the card as well, and they fight WrestleMania Sunday.
Okay. So we got 2 votes for LA Knight, 1 for Bronson Reed, and 1 for Baron Corbin.
Bobby Lashley.
Mine was Bobby Lashley. I just
Bobby
said
Lashley.
He would eliminate Moss and Corbin, who were be battling over being a 2-time Andre champ. So,
Okay.
I like what Carlos said. I like what you said about the them having a potential match, and it's weird because it's kind of like the last 2 guys linked with Bray Wyatt, right? So that's
Yeah.
a nice way to kind of just yield it that way and kind of get them something. So good idea.
Okay. Now, sorry, now they're coming to get my car keys again. But anyways, I have a slight problem with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And that is that when they first started holding this Battle Royal at WrestleMania, they made a big deal about it. Like it was going to mean something, and yet it has not meant jack shit. Like at first it was a big deal, and like, who was it that won the first one?
Cesaro.
Yeah, he picked a Big Show and carried him all the way across the ring and dumped him, which was insane.
Yeah, and then Big Show won the second year. And at that point, it was like the winner of this was supposed to be like the next big thing for the year, but that never panned out. And I want to pose this hypothetical to you guys because I have an answer, but I don't know how you guys follow up with it. What could be done from WWE's perspective to make the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal actually mean something? And
put some work into it.
If you want, I can give my solution first.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it'd be a great idea. Like, we already have the Royal Rumble to set up the heavyweight championship match at WrestleMania, right? What would you guys say about if WWE would consider making the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania be for your choice of a title shot against either the Intercontinental or United States champion at Backlash?
I think Carlos is going to hate that idea. He knows I'm teasing him.
Why?
No, I'm just saying, I know you alluded to it before and you were kind of pitching that thought. And so that's why I was like, oh, this is up Carlos's alley.
Oh, no, that's my idea. So here's the thing I would do for WrestleMania. So every year for WrestleMania, with the two lower titles, for the Intercontinental title, every year there would be the Scott Hall Memorial Ladder match. So every year for WrestleMania, if I was booking WrestleMania, you would have the Scott Hall Memorial Ladder match every year for WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title. So I would like you're saying, and then again, because WrestleMania is 2 nights, I would have the Andre Giant Battle Royal on Saturday, and then the winner gets to fight for the U.S. title on Sunday.
Ooh.
And again, because you're talking about making somebody, so that's how you make a star. Is you make them by having them win. You have them win the Battle Royal, and then you give them. Then they get to actually be. And again, you make it the pre-show too. So it's on the pre-show on Saturday. And then on Sunday, they actually get to be on the main card at WrestleMania Sunday, fighting for U.S. title, and that to me is my solution. And I would do the same thing for the women's too.
But that would involve having to bring back matches on the kickoff show instead of it just being video.
But they should. I mean, they all they do is repeat. They just repeat all the crap they made us watch for the last month, And again, it's just to me, it's just. They're asking a lot of the audience to sit through that stuff. So why not? And that's the thing where, when we're talking about favorite promotions, that's why I love AEW, because I feel like with AEW, they're booking to the live crowd, and then us as fans to watch it. So if you're going to go to an AEW show, you're going to get to see like 16 matches, because they're going to book, you're going to see Dynamite, you're going to see Rampage, and they're also going to take Dark Elevation. So for me, if you're going to be charging somebody $10,000 for WrestleMania tickets, or whatever, I think that's the highest price. Like, give the fans matches, man. Like give these people, and also let the talent earn that WrestleMania paycheck too. Like, I get that they're trying to get people to tune into SmackDown by having the Battle Royal on Friday, but there's a lot of different things they could do to get the talent to come on there. They could do like a match to earn a card. There's so many different possibilities with that, So I think, again, for me, let the talent, especially those guys who've been there all year long, like an Imperium, those guys like that, let those guys have that spotlight on the card actually at the pre-show and let them fight. I mean, against as somebody who's gone to WrestleMania, I wasn't mad about getting to see all those matches. I loved it.
So I like, we got the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. We got the Scott Hall ladder match. Let's just go ahead and add another one to it. Let's do the Jobber Buried Alive match. And we have the Brooklyn Brawler and Barry Horowitz. And we just get every jobber in the past, of Gobbledygooker. Let's get him in there. And so we're going to have the Jobber Buried Alive match at WrestleMania. Now, all joking aside, I like your guys' ideas there as far as making the Andre the Giant Battle Royal mean something. And I like the idea of, hey, let's also pair it with a lower or a mid-card title and make those titles mean something. So, yeah, I think these are knockout ideas that you guys have.
And I love how Dante has not said a word in like the past 20 minutes.
I don't want to interrupt anybody. I don't care.
He's nodding.
He's just sitting there like deer in the headlights, like, oh, what the fuck's going on?
He was
here?
waiting for his turn, dude. Damn.
He's waiting for his moment. It's going to be
Do you
here.
have any suggestions for this, Dante?
No, not really. I mean, they just got to put some work into it. It's like, as a wrestler, you know, you got to think, hey, I'm in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Okay, why am I in this Battle Royal? What's in it for me? Okay, so I win. Okay, I won. So what? Yeah, there needs to be something there to drive, you know, this talent to want to win the Battle Royal. You know, they got to put some kind of work into it. At least whenever it was a part of WrestleMania, at least, hey, I get my WrestleMania moment. I get my WrestleMania win. You know, there's got to be something else at stake. I don't know what. I mean, I'm liking the ideas I'm hearing, but yeah, they got to put a little more work into it.
All right. And Brian, Carlos, just so you know, if you see me busting his balls extra hard, it's because this dude is like, I've got 3 guys that I consider my best friends, and he is one of them.
It's okay.
We're gonna team up. I'll get to team up on you if you keep giving him busting his balls, dude. We gotta stick up for the new guy here. Come on now.
I'm also waiting for him to start spazzing out for them to see his personality, because that's going to be one of the selling points for the new show.
Nice.
Look, man.
But anyway,
we're already not judging you for drinking soccer mom wine on this podcast. And then next thing you know, you're going to start blaming the alcohol and everything. Yeah, just like you were coughing.
I know. He's chugging those balls of wine to go out of style over there.
Yeah. What are you drinking? What's in that bottle?
Right now, it's something I bought at Aldi's. Pacific Fruit Vineyards Sweet Watermelon.
Okay, what's the alcohol content on that?
I don't fucking know.
If you pass out before we don't finish, I mean, that's gonna be.
It's 9%.
It's a little bit of the bubbly.
That's okay. I like
Yes.
it. I like
A
wine.
little bit of the bubbly.
Wine's got to be at least 10. Okay, so I don't know. You're like borderline soccer mom wine on that one.
Dang.
You know, that's all right. We'll give you a pass on that one.
There you go. You asked for it. You just give it to you.
Come on, keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
All right, dude, you want to fire me up? If I'm going to Wine and Spirits, getting a bottle of wine, dude. I remember for, I think it was Christmas, I seen some like maple wine or something, and I was like, "Ooh, this sounds so good." I'm in the checkout line. I'm like, "Wait a minute, 6%? Nope, I'm putting this right back. This ain't gonna toast me up at all. I gotta be around my family and everything." I said, "Nope, I'm gonna need to be a little toasted." What is that? Aldi soccer mom wine, dude. Come on.
Anyways, we are 46 minutes in, and we are just now getting to start discussing WrestleMania.
Hey, it's only 7:53 for me right now, so I'm good to go. You guys.
Oh, you're killing me.
This is what happens.
10:56 for the 3 of us.
You got me and Geoffrey together. This is what happens. I can't get this prick off the phone. He calls me, and he's on the phone with me for an hour and a half. I'm taking a shit. I'm like, ugh, okay, yeah, whatever you say. That's what happens, dude.
All right. Anyways, you done now?
Yeah.
All right. Good. For now.
So we practice the myth. When my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut. Is that how you want to run this from now on?
Yes, please, Carlos. Keep
right.
that on track. Anyways, now we had discussed before the other night what order to cover these matches, whether we were going to do it in the predicted order that we thought they were going to put them on the card for the weekend, or if we were going to do it in order of how personally hyped I am for them. And Carlos made the executive decision to do it in order of my personal hype. That being said, we are going to kick off WrestleMania discussions with this match here. Brock Lesnar versus Omos, because I could really care less.
Do you really think anybody's going to see that tiny little ass graphic in the corner of the screen?
Well, here, see if this helps. Probably not. But I'd also
just cover us all up now.
I'd prepared it this way as well, but
there you go. That works.
But we're covering them. So it's like either they cover us, we throw them in the corner.
We're covering them. We got the names in the bottom here, right?
The name's on the bottom. We're good to go.
It's in lights.
So anyways, Brock Lesnar versus Omos. This match, the only real build to it is what? The MVP running his mouth saying that Brock Lesnar's beating everybody, but he can't beat somebody that big, that wide. You three take it away.
All right, I'll go first. So originally I thought, everything leads to almost, whatever. Almost. Right. Everything leads to him. So
osmosis.
They really want to push him, and they're looking for that next giant that Vince is always looking for. Ultimately, my pick was him to win because Brock's going to put over somebody, right? So, Carlos, this is one of my picks that I'm changing. I'm going to go with Brock because the more that I'm thinking about it, I don't see them allowing Brock to lose like that. Just no more than the Undertaker didn't lose to the Giant Gonzalez at WrestleMania 9. So I'm going to say there's going to be instead a WrestleMania moment where Brock is able to pick this guy up and give him amazing F5. Maybe it might even be something crazy off the top rope or something insane that is just going to give us this wow factor at Mania. And so that's why I am going with a Brock Lesnar.
All right, so I think Brock Lesnar is going to F5 Omos, but I think Omos is going to kick out of that F5. I think this is Brock Lesnar's last match in WWE, possibly forever. I think this is because there's been on the dirt sheets that said that he was saying his goodbyes, especially with Vince McMahon leaving WWE now. I just see Brock not wanting to be around. I mean, he'll always come back possibly for a big payday. But I think this is Brock putting Omos over and doing the deeds as is going out. So with that said, I think Omos wins. But I'm not excited for this match. And again, sometimes you gotta hit the reset button with these things. And and the fact Omos lost to Lashley, he lost to Strowman. So it's like I'm supposed to believe this guy can beat Brock when he lost to those two guys. But again, we're supposed to have amnesia when we're WWE fans, So with that said, I'm going to go with Omos for the win. I think Brock's doing the favors on the way out the door.
Dante?
Okay. It definitely makes sense to kind of pass the torch for like the big destructive force. It makes sense for Omos to win. As a fan, though, dude, I'm sorry. Omos is not the guy. Okay, he's not. He needs character. I'm not doubting his in-ring work. He needs some character. The man can't talk. Okay, he needs some. I don't even know what his character is. I don't know what his gimmick is. He needs some character. If Omos is gonna win, I think now is not the time. Okay, I mean, like everyone said, I think this is gonna be a snoozer. I hope I'm wrong. I seriously hope I'm wrong. As a kid, I've always liked the bigger dudes, but I mean, come on, we're talking about Brock Lesnar. You're telling me he's going to do a favor to Omos?
So you're going to take my Wade Barrett and raise me a Paul Heyman. Got it.
Yep, exactly.
Sure. If Omos does win this thing, I see it being on some BS, some interference, distract the ref, MVP distracts the ref. That's what I see if he does win. But I think it would not be wise for Brock to do the job at this time. Okay, I still say, I mean, Brock, he lost to Roman, at SummerSlam. He lost to Roman last year. He's still Brock Lesnar. I think Brock should get the win. And you know what? That's who I'm going to go with. Fingers crossed I'm right. I'm not saying I'm going to be right. That's who I'm going with, Brock Lesnar, because he is still the man. He is still Brock Lesnar. And he is still, in my opinion, the most dominant force in wrestling. If Omos is going to do it, now's not the time.
All right. So before I give my answer, let me get this straight. We have Omos, Brock.
Omos Brock.
He don't know his left and right.
So we're
Dante.
Oh, you changed yours, yeah.
Right now, I gotta.
I feel like we're on the Brady Bunch right now.
Right now, you are on my left, right? I'm pointing left right now, so I got to reverse what I'm thinking to do.
There you go.
Here's a story.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, the Brady
Brian.
Bunch.
Brian picked Omos.
I took Brock.
He took Brock.
So it was Brock, Omos, Brock.
Yep.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, I'm looking back at other giants that have been in the ring and the opponents they faced. I'm looking back to Andre and Hogan. I'm looking back to Taker and Khali. Or Cena, Khali, Batista, Khali. Fucking hell. Probably Eddie Guerrero and Khali. I'm looking back to Taker and Giant Gonzalez. And every time you get these big, super tall, impressive looking, but can't move worth a shit motherfuckers in the ring, they always do the job at Mania. And I don't think this year is going to be any different. That being said, Omos lays down for Brock. I'm taking Brock. Maybe things will be different now that Vince isn't the head of creative and Hunter is. But given how poor Omos has looked and how bad he is at not being able to move, I don't think this is going to be any different.
Well, one of the things I kind of go back to on this too is Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker to end the streak, right?
Yes.
Whoever beats Brock Lesnar at Mania, and that includes Roman, right? You're transferring that streak and the powers of that streak to that person, right? So now they are kind of the same as you who broke the streak. So Roman, I mean, obviously, yes, and he's the guy right now. I don't see almost being the same guy as a Roman type level streak-worthy winning guy. So that's kind of another basis of my choice for Brock.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't forget about Seth Rollins. He beat Lesnar at Mania as well.
Yeah,
but that was a different situation with the cash in.
Yeah, but
because Seth only came out.
Seth Rollins beat him at WrestleMania 35 or 36. He beat him in the opening match of WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was the one where the women were in the
main event. Yeah.
Yep.
So Rollins beat Lesnar.
Oh shit, I forgot about that match.
Yeah,
my bad.
That's a good point.
It was at your house. Yeah. So, but again, that's Seth Rollins. Okay.
He kicked out of the F5 and then hit him with 3 stomps. Yes.
Yeah. He was deserving to beat.
And so did Drew McIntyre. Drew beat him too.
Yeah.
Okay. So for this one, we've got 3 votes for Brock, 1 for Omos.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Anything else you guys wanted to discuss on this match?
No. Next.
All right. From worst, from projected worst to second worst. Got it. We've got the men's showcase fatal 4-way tag match. Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. And honestly, I'm going to have to sit here and think because this match has barely crossed my mind. And I have not yet picked an answer for this. So go ahead.
I'll start off first with this one. So I'm going to stick with my original. So this is my original one from our podcast on Sunday. So I predict that what's her name from the model agency? She's gonna get Otis out of this match. I predict Otis and Chad Gable are gonna be taking out this match because Maximum Male Models she's gonna do something with Otis where she's gonna distract him or something. So Chad Gable's not gonna have a partner. With that being said, my pick for this match is a returning RK Bro. I think we have Randy Orton and Matt Riddle return at WrestleMania and they win this match. That's my prediction.
Okay, damn. I had a question.
Yeah.
Since they haven't really said much other than it was going to be fatal 4 tag matches. Now, are these going to be done as a standard first fall or are they going to be elimination tag matches?
I think it's the first fall.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I took it. And are the winners becoming the number one contenders in these?
They haven't said that at all.
I know. I feel like they've been dancing with that.
They should. Again, that's how you make it better.
Yeah.
And I have one other question.
Sure.
Are they doing it with 4 men in the ring at once and one person on the outside? Or
No, I think it's just two men in the ring.
Or
Probably
so
anybody can tag
they're
anyone.
doing the stupid you can tag anybody rules,
Correct.
except for the guy that you're facing as a partner.
That's what I would
Yeah.
assume.
Well, that being said, if it's going to be that way, because I have two different answers. I have three different answers depending on which way the match is being held. But because I'm looking at it this way, if it's going to be a straight like melee where 4 men in the ring at once, 4 men in the corners, I would have to think at that rate. I would probably take the Street Profits just because Montez Ford is that incredible that he can pull something out of his ass at any given moment. If it's going to be a elimination style match, I think I'm going to lend that one to the Viking Raiders because I just can't see them as a cohesive unit. I see them being the strongest with being able to keep track of your partner and yourself at the same time, being able to say, oh shit, I need to make a save. But if it's the rules of 2 men in the ring at a time where you can tag anybody, that's where I'm changing my answer to Braun and Ricochet, because I'm sorry. Once Ricochet, is always taking the heat. He's always doing most of the match and then tagging Braun in for the hot finish. So depending on which rules this match is under, I have 3 different answers.
So you have multiple choice, right?
he's like, I win.
So if you used to call your shot right now at 11:07 p.m. Eastern time, what's it going to be?
It's going to be a standard, just two people in the ring at the same time. It's going to be your standard 4-way tag team match.
Well, then in that case, my answer is going to be Braun and Ricochet.
Right. For me, I'll make it pretty quick. I feel it's going to be the Street Profits. I feel like, even though they're not saying it, this will lead to an eventual possible championship match. I feel like it's just kind of going to steer that. And then it could potentially lead to another story with the Street Profits. Maybe a split up, maybe not. But either way, we need to see a little bit of their rise to glory, if that even is going to happen. I know I'm not going to predict a breakup because honestly, I've been predicting that for about over a year and a half now, and I'm not going to keep losing on that. But I am going to say Street Profits. And I'll go ahead to Dante.
I definitely think that Strowman and Ricochet are going to kind of be the top performers in this match. Definitely going to do some big guy, little guy stuff, especially since, Braun Strowman, they've been trying to push him to the moon. So they're probably just going to tell him, all right, Braun, you get in there, do some cool shit. I don't know if they're going to give him the win. Now, the Street Profits, I would kind of go with them, but there's been talks of them getting broken up and Montez Ford kind of going his own way. So that's the only reason why I'm not going to say the Street Profits. You know what? I am actually going to go with Alpha Academy. Okay, because Vince, he just had his heart on with Otis, and something
Right.
about him, he just likes Otis. And Chad Gable, I think it would make sense. I mean, he's kind of been in the shadows for some time. I think this will be both of their times to rise, maybe get a tag title shot if that's what's coming out of this. I don't know. I think that would kind of make some sense. So I'm going to go with the Alpha Academy.
Okay, so just real quick, go around the circle to make sure. I believe we got Braun and Strowman for me. You said Street Profits?
Street Profits.
You said
RK Bro for the surprise return.
Oh, yes, surprise return and Alpha Academy. So once again, we got 4 separate answers.
Dante's got me
and
thinking
yet
of
no one said Viking Raiders.
Yeah, right.
It might be too early for them to really get a WrestleMania win.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty big.
Actually, thinking about like after Dante's pick there, and I'm not changing mine, but Alpha Academy winning would be intriguing. And if I hybrid that with Carlos's Otis getting whiffed away, Chad would need a different tag team partner. And 1 year ago, Gabe Stevenson was announced at Mania.
Shit.
Could they sneak him in here as Chad's tag team partner? I just thought of that, and I was like, that would be slick. Almost 1 year later, he makes his debut from when Stephanie was out there announcing him as the hottest new thing, right? And I don't know. Never say never.
This is wrestling. Anything is possible. Anything.
Why they said there's lots of surprises planned for this weekend. So I just think this is a match where we see a surprise for sure.
So I'm seeing a report here from SB Nation that kind of shoots that idea down, Brian.
Okay.
Because apparently Gable Stevenson is
going back to be one more year, right?
Planning on going for a second Olympic medal, planning on going to another Olympics. So if he's focusing on training for the Olympics, I don't see any room for us for a WWE appearance.
Was that just reported like this week?
March 9th.
Okay. So it was a while ago. I'm always leery of news around this time because smoke screens. It's like the NFL draft, right? You can't believe anything the day before the draft so I wanted to see how far away that was. But yeah, well.
I mean, it was only a couple weeks ago that they were saying he's training for the Olympics. So
yeah,
that kind of makes that an iffy proposition. But either way, we got 4 answers for one match. I love it. We're going to move on to the next. Once I can get my cursor to agree with me here. And I know you guys had to have laughed at me on the chat group on the Twitter chat the other night, but a match that a lot of people are saying is going to steal the show. But since Carlos said go off of my own personal hype list, I'm placing this high just because I'm gonna be honest. I would have put this later if it weren't for gimmick wise, but because athletically this has all the potential in the world. But I'm sorry, I just can't stand when Seth Rollins opens his mouth. So the next match we're going to discuss
Blasphemy.
is Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. Let's see if we can't get an even split 2-2 here.
Dante, you go first this time.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He has not opened his mouth first yet.
See, the hard part about this, you got to kind of separate the two parts of your brain that says, what do I want to happen and what do I think is going to happen? Oftentimes, it's really not the same thing. I would really like to see Seth take the win here. I mean, Seth has just been doing jobs lately, doing favors. He's Seth friggin' Rollins. Come on, dude. He's the show stealer all the time. Okay? I would really like to see him pick up the win. At the same time, I think it would kind of make sense to put, Logan Paul over because, right now they just – I'm sure, Hunter and Vince are looking at him and they're just seeing dollar signs. So it really wouldn't amaze me if they did put him over in this match. So that sucks that Seth is going to have to do the favor again. But all right, I'm gonna go Logan Paul on that one. Hope I'm wrong.
Dante, who's next? You pick.
Oh, you go next. I thought we were going clockwise.
Yeah, clockwise.
Oh, that's how we're doing it every round? Okay.
We'll start with a different person every time, yeah.
Carlos, you're apparently the new host of the show. Go ahead. All right, well, then you're next, Carlos.
I thought you were going next. I'll go next. I don't care. So I too.
Wait, my bad. Clockwise. I'm thinking counterclockwise. My bad. All right, fine. I guess I'm next. Boy, okay. I'm looking at it this way. What do I want to see happen? I'm like the same approach as Dante. What do I want to see happen versus what is realistically going to happen? what I want to see happen is Seth Rollins get knocked the fuck out again. I can't stand him. I think he is the most annoying motherfucker in WWE. Part of my French. Thank God we have this tagged as explicit. But given that Logan Paul signed a 1-year contract that expires at WrestleMania 39, he's probably walking away. And what do most wrestlers do on their way out? But do the job. That being said, that and the fact that Seth has already been left laying knocked out in the ring twice during the build-up to this, unfortunately, storyline-wise, it makes perfect sense that this is where Seth finally gets his comeuppance. So I'm picking against my better judgment here. I'm picking Seth Rollins.
All right. I don't feel like that's against better judgment. I feel like that's good judgment. And I feel like I agree. I think that Seth Rollins does take a WrestleMania win here. This feud, like I mentioned before, this feud is very young in its growth, right? This hasn't been going on for 4, 5, 6 months. This is not the payoff feud. Next month in Puerto Rico at Backlash will be the payoff feud. And just remember, not all stories end at WrestleMania. Some stories begin. And think about like Cody and Seth last year, and then it evolved into Hell in a Cell, right? So this is the starting point, and that's why I'm going to say Seth does need a WrestleMania win because of last year and years past. But more importantly, it's the biggest stage, and they're going to have to give that to him to start this feud to keep it going one more month.
So am I hearing you correctly? You think Logan Paul is going to re-sign?
I think Logan Paul, you said a year, right?
Yes, his current contract expires at WrestleMania 39.
Yeah, it's plenty of time for this feud. Whether he re-signs or not, I do think that this match builds to something bigger, and that's why I'm going with Seth frickin' Rollins.
Oh, you know what? That makes perfect sense. He ends the story with Logan Paul at WrestleMania, and then turns around and gets his ass kicked by Bad Bunny at Backlash. I love it. Carlos, what's your answer, buddy?
So first of all, I don't believe for a minute that Logan Paul only signed a 1-year contract, because when they announced that he signed with WWE, they said it was a multiple wrestling contract. So I think he's just trolling people by saying that his contract is ending in a year at WrestleMania. I think he's trolling that to make people think that he's going to lose. With that said, I think this, like when I first heard about this feud being booked, I heard that it was being booked because it's supposed to be about Logan Paul earning Seth Rollins' respect. And with that said, I think Logan Paul wins. And I also think that they fight again in Puerto Rico at Backlash, because that's where Logan Paul lives. And I just see him wanting to fight there where he where he lives, because he resides in Puerto Rico for tax purposes. So I think they'll have a rematch. I don't believe for 1 second that he's only signed for a year. I think he's bullshitting. But yeah, so we have our first split, because I too pick Logan Paul to win this match at WrestleMania.
So we've got 3 Seths and 1 Logan.
No, 2 Logans, 2 Seths.
2-2.
Yep, 2-2.
Oh wait, Logan, Seth, Logan.
Seth, Logan.
Okay. Following up with what you said, because I was doing some research on my phone while you were speaking, Carlos. I would say Ringside News and Bleacher Report are fairly reliable sources when it comes to professional wrestling. Do we all agree on that?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Dude.
Okay.
Well, I mean, at the same time, so the thing is, where this one, the 1-year contract thing, where the rest story started, it's off of his Impulsive podcast. It was him saying that on his podcast that he only signed for 1 year. But I remember specifically when they signed, it was for multiple years. So again, I'm just going off of that, what was said months ago.
Well, that's what I was.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That's what I was trying to get at. Because both sources, Ringside News and what the fuck was the other one again? Ringside News and Bleacher Report are stating that there is some discrepancy regarding what the terms of his contract are, because I guess they're both tying back to Dave Meltzer, who is saying that he's a bit confused because WWE reported upon Logan Paul's signing that it was a multi-year deal. However, Logan Paul's camp is currently reporting that his deal expires at Mania. So that kind of makes me wonder about my choice, because I was going off of the basis that Logan Paul's contract expired at Mania. If it's not expiring at Mania and continuing, then I might want to change my answer. But that being said, as much as I hate to say it, I'm still locking in at Seth Rollins. So we're 2-2.
Good. We're first split.
To hell with what you hear on all them sites. You know,
they're all gonna troll, and Logan Paul's a big troll too.
And the dirt sheets. There's no.
We know that.
Dude, forget about all that. Okay, I'm convinced that the higher ups of WWE will feed those people one thing and then purposely do the opposite. Okay, you know how you're gonna know? I'm gonna tell you. You know how you're gonna know?
Wait and find out. Wait and find out.
The damn show. Okay, forget about the spoilers. Forget about the dirt sheet said that. Dude, they're wrong half the time. Okay, they're wrong half the time. If I'm going to see a movie, I'm not going to go look up the ending. No, I'm just going to watch the damn thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are enjoying what you just heard from over here, please stay tuned with RunningForce Productions for the new show that's getting launched, tentatively called Cranking It Out with Slice and Moon. That being
Jesus,
said,
you're not gonna go Jesus mode? Come on.
Yeah, see, you can call me.
Oh, he thinks he's the mental messiah.
All right, we'll go with that.
But anyways, we're gonna move on to the next match. Sound like a plan?
Yeah, it's getting closer to guys' bedtime, I think. Here.
Oh my god. Listen, motherfucker. Just because you're 3 hours behind us. Carlos,
you're gonna get me like this by the end of the podcast.
Ryan
fell off the screen.
Have I mentioned how much fun I had with you guys for Rumble? How much I fucking enjoy you guys?
Oh, I love this.
All right, moving on to the next match on what was, since like Carlos had said, my personal hype list, the women's showcase match. And this match is, where's the banners? There it is. The Fatal 4-Way Tag match. Teams being Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I still want to say Gonzalez. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. And Natalya and Shotzi. I still want to call her Blackheart.
You did call her Blackheart.
I did that down there intentionally, but just because, even though they shortened her name, if you notice, I did that for Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo too during the Andre Battle Royal.
Yep.
Because now it's just Angel and Humberto.
I'm glad you didn't call them the Los Lotharios. I hate that name.
Well, they're not entering the Battle Royal as a tag team.
Yeah.
But I don't know. All right, Dante, you went first last time. So how's about we jump across the board to Bryan?
All right. So mine is going to be Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Ronda Rousey is not going to take a loss at this WrestleMania in this kind of match. I'm pretty sure that's in her contract. I'm totally joking. I know no inside information about contracts. But ultimately, she's too big of a name from her UFC days, and just the way they have handled her career, they're not going to give her a loss in this match. So it's going to be Shayna and Ronda. That's my final answer.
Carlos.
I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I can care less about this match. I think this match for me is next to Brock and Omos. So again, you must be. I'm thinking you hyped it up. Maybe you're a Liv Morgan fan. I don't know. I was made for Shotzi, but for me, it's Shayna and Ronda too. Like Bryan said, this match was made for them. I'm shocked it's not a number one contenders match. Again, if I was booking for something for importance, this will be on WrestleMania Saturday with the winner getting a shot at the tag belts on WrestleMania Sunday. And then that would let Trish turn on Becky, which has been rumored too. So for me, it's Ronda and Shayna Baszler. The only tag team match in this match.
To answer your question, no. When it comes to Shotzi Blackheart or Liv Morgan, no, I would not throw either one of them out of bed for eating crackers.
See?
But the reason I have this one ranked above the three above it is down to the quality of the women's division. Because honestly, for about the past 5 years, I would say watching the women's division work has been far more entertaining and far better technically than watching the men.
All right.
But
again, if they just gave us better tag teams, again, there's no reason why they couldn't have these women tag teaming up for like the last 6 months with the roster they have. So especially if they're not going to be in the main roster, if they're not going to be like in the women's title storyline, there's no reason why these women couldn't have been tag teaming for the last 6 months, and they could have built this up better.
True.
But I love Chelsea Green though. I love what she's doing right now with her Karen gimmick. She's so entertaining.
Oh, heard the do you know who I am?
Let me speak to your manager. Yeah, don't you know? Like, yeah, I love her and Carmella together. Oh my god! Like, so I'm glad. It's kind of sad Carmella's not in the match, but her and Sonya fit together just as well.
Well, apparently Carmella's dealing with an injury right now.
Yeah,
which is why Sonya got input into the scenario. But so far we've got Ronda and Shayna. Ronda and Shayna. Weiss, what's your answer?
Yeah, I'm just gonna hop on the bandwagon here. I think this one's a given. I mean, if you're talking about who do I see tagging after this, Shayna and Ronda both have like the UFC backgrounds. I think they would make a killer dominant women's tag team moving forward. Plus, like I said, kind of like what I said with Logan Paul, Ronda Rousey, hey, making Vince and Paul plenty of this. So guess what? They put her in the main event, put the women's title on her, 1 year WrestleMania. Hey, guess what? Now she's got to get the tag belts. She's going to get like every accolade, every accomplishment. They got to put the tag belts on her now. That's what I think their mindset is. So that's who I'm going. That's why I'm hopping on the bandwagon. Who is Snapchatting me? I don't care.
All right, so I'm last on this category.
Is it a sweep? Get the broom out?
And I'm going to say that for no other reason than they are the only pairing that makes fucking sense. Ronda and Shayna.
There we go.
We are unanimous. We are unanimous.
One of us.
It is.
So that means Chelsea and Zoe are winning.
Yes, that's exactly what it means, Carlos. and can I say this is probably the only time on this entire roster or card that we will probably all have the same answer.
I think that's probably accurate, honestly.
I mean, we've had a couple 3-1s, but we've not had a unanimous decision except for this. And I feel like such an asshole because I just realized this puppy never showed up on screen. Not that anyone can actually see it unless they're looking at it on an 85-inch TV. Either way, moving on. The next match that of the rest of the list, I will say there are 2 matches at the end that I cut off because I look at them as being reasonably the main events of night 1 and night 2. So I took them separate from the rest, but going over the rest of the card, the next match that I am going down the list, slightly more excited for. Damage Control, the team of Bayley, Io Sky, which, by the way, Io Blah, because I hate what they did with her name. Go back to Io Shirai.
Yeah.
And Dakota Kai versus Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus. Brian, you went last time, or went first last time, so pick the next victim. Who goes first this round?
We'll start with you. I think we'll do the roundabout. Yep.
All right. So, even though Damage Control came out with a lot of hype and promise and pomp and circumstance, and like realistically, they need the win. Knowing WWE's track record of booking, they're going to want the Legends to have their big moment. They're bringing Legends back for Mania, so obviously they're going to put them over the current roster guys. That's just the way it's always been. That said, I think Becky, Lita, and Trish win this, but I think it's going to lead to Becky Lynch turning heel on Trish and Lita. and a likely SummerSlam match between Becky and Lita.
Oh, Battle of the Redheads. I'll be watching that.
We know. We know, Ginger Ninja.
So there's the redheads eating crackers in his bed. Then okay, we got it.
But yes, I believe it was you, Brian, that mentioned earlier, or maybe it was Carlos. One of you was expecting Trish to turn heel on the other
Turn
two.
heel. That's been the storyline. Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be Becky. She's just her whole the man gimmick and the snarky shit she's doing, similar to the snarky shit that her husband is doing, lends better to being a heel than a babyface. I think Becky's going to be the one to turn. Brian.
All right. I'm with you. I do believe Trish, Lita, and Becky are winning this for all the reasons you mentioned, right? Legends, Mania, under the big lights. If the potential heel turn happens, it'll be kind of like The Miz and Logan Paul last year, right? They'll win their match, and then for no reason that'll happen. Or since everybody seems to be in the know right now, maybe they save it for the Monday night after just to kind of throw us off the scent a little bit. But either way, yes, they're winning that match.
And who's your call for which one of the three turns on the other two?
Okay. I'm inclined to say Trish. I know she got a heel run with Christian years ago, right? But it never really fully matured, and I know she has interest in doing a little bit of that on a short program, so I'm going to go with her.
Okay. Carlos.
So I'm going with Becky, Trish, and Lita. Again, I don't agree with turning Becky heel again. I think turning her heel when she was one of the top most over stars in the whole company, coming back from injury, was a very dumb move by Vince McMahon. And it took all this time just to get her back to being like a top face again. And she just got back the man moniker from Ric Flair. They just renegotiated that. Ric Flair just apologized to Seth Rollins. So those have all been amends that have been made. So I love the man character. I like her as a face. When she's on full cylinder, she's one of the top stars in the company. Men or women, doesn't matter. Just one of the top stars, superstars, period, in the company. With that said, too, again, all I've heard from different, watching different podcasts and stuff like that too, and different things is that Trish came back to the WWE with the storyline being pitching her that she didn't get to be a heel this time. So I do think that she eventually turns on them, and it will be Trish and Becky down the line with Trish being the heel. So I do pick them to win. And I do like for once that they're bringing back part-time women legends, to WrestleMania instead of it always being the guys like Goldberg and stuff like that. So I think it's cool that the women getting their turn as far as that kind of thing goes. But again, I picked those three women to win the match for sure.
Okay. And your call for which one? Are you had already said Trish turning on the other two?
Trish Stratus, yeah.
So far, you two both say Trish turns. We're all in agreement that it's Becky and the Hall of Famers, but
yeah.
You two think it's Trish. I think Becky's the one that's going to turn. Okay, Dante. And I'm sorry, I'm going to let you talk while I step away again because unfortunately, I got laid off today, so I've been drinking since I got home, and you know what happens once you break the seal. So go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, right. You need more diabetes in that glass. That's what you need more sugar water. Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess this is another clean sweep then, because
nice.
Lynch, Lita, and Trish, for the sole reason being, now I don't know this for sure, but Shayna and Ronda, they are heels, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that just makes sense. Lita and Trish being, Becky being, super baby face right now. I think it would make sense to give Shayna and Ronda the win and have them feud with Trish Lita. I think that would make sense because having Damage Control is obviously very heel right now. Feuding with Ronda and Shayna, I don't think that really makes sense. So that's who I'm gonna choose. And as far as who's turning heel, who says any of them's gonna turn heel?
Yeah.
What the dirt sheet says. I don't give a shit what the dirt sheet says. Okay.
He's already made that. Already made that. Okay.
You know, who says any of them's going to turn heel?
Right.
You know? And if they do, who says they're going to turn at Mania? I think we just get a clean win. Trish, Lita, and Becky. I think we just get a clean win because, you know, Trish and Lita were top of the game as far as the Divas/women's division, but they were never a tag team. They never got tag shine. Now that you know these women's tag belts are around, they can get their shine as a tag team. I think we just see a clean win here from them and feuding with Ron and Shayna moving forward.
Okay. So we got.
Oh,
you first, Brian.
Yeah, I wanted to propose kind of an alternate scenario that just popped in my head. See, you guys create these ideas in my head when you bring your ideas. I'm like, man. Kind of to, I think it was Dante's point about needing a team to feud with Becky and Shayna.
Ronda and Shayna.
Or Ronda, yeah. I was looking at Becky. So I'm thinking.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, right. I'm thinking that what if Bayley was the one to turn heel in a match, creating Dakota and Io to be the new face team. And I mean, she joins the other girls and Bayley's just like, ding dong, hello. You didn't see that coming, did you two? And, you know, because Damage Control hasn't been working as well. So she kicks them to the curb. And
okay.
Alternate what if scenario, but I don't know. I just kind of had that random thought while we were talking.
Okay. And
on the line.
Dante, I do want to say real quick, I never said that it was going to be Becky turning heel at Mania. I'm just saying storyline down the road.
I thought somebody was turning at Mania. And I was like, whoa, who says?
No, I don't think it's gonna be. It's not gonna be at Mania.
No, it's going to be. A lot of people are saying. I'm hearing a lot of rumors about Trish turning on the other two on the Raw after, which is when they tend to spark a lot of stuff. But I'm not even saying that. I'm saying like a few weeks down the line, maybe Money in the Bank. But I think at some point it's going to be Becky that turns heel to align with Bayley. But either way, so it's another clean sweep. We're all saying Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish.
Yeah, it's a streak at this point.
I'm shocked.
Hey, we got a streak going of 2.
I think we might have a streak at 3. I think we might get a streak of 3 now.
Streak at 3?
Because the next match on the card in my order of hype is the United States Championship match, Austin Theory versus John Cena. And you chose, if I'm not mistaken, you chose me to go first last time. So, Carlos, start us off.
All right. So this match is going to be opening Wrestlemania on Saturday. And again, John Cena's not sticking around, so I definitely think Theory's going to win. I think Theory beats John Cena, beats his idol. Again, John Cena, I think he come back, you know, to put over Theory to help him get over. So I definitely think Theory's going to win. I think Theory beats him clean and fair and square. Easy peasy. John Cena catches the flight off to go film his movie as soon as the match is over. And maybe we see, and I think, again, maybe we see John Cena versus Logan Paul at SummerSlam. That's been kind of the things been floating around too.
Okay. Dante.
Okay, yeah, I will agree with that. You know, Cena shows up, collects his paycheck, and he bounces. There's no reason to put Cena over anymore. I mean, he's a part-timer. Yeah, and you know what? Especially ever since it was announced that this is the night one main event. I mean, why would you have a veteran/legend?
Hold.
Opening match.
This is not the night one main event. This is the night one opening match.
But no, it's announced that Cena and Theory was the main event. I thought night one.
Nope, opening match.
I know there was a poster that was released.
Yeah,
and maybe that was. I know it was at the top of the poster. I don't know where, but
yeah, it was at the top. So I just assumed it was the main event.
I see that.
I said, oh, okay, all right, I could see that.
I mean, to an extent, it would make sense, given that John Cena is the biggest draw. But no, this was announced as the opening match of Saturday night.
They announced it on Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
I think they're trying to get the fans. I think because with traffic and everything else, is like they want to make sure that they're trying to make sure that it looks packed when they kick off WrestleMania. So I think they're doing it to try to make sure people show up there early and try to beat LA traffic.
Oh yeah, they definitely want asses and seats for the Open.
Yeah.
I also forgot we're not going in the actual order. We're going in your personal order. So, okay.
Well, do you any of you disagree with my order so far?
No, I just forgot. I thought we were going in the order of the match.
Just the women's 4-way match. I thought that should have been after Almost and Lesnar. That's the only one.
All right, fair enough. Whatever. Thanks, Carlos. But no, I get your point. I just personally think the women's division has been far better than the men's lately. That's why I gave them extra steps. But so both of you are taking Austin so far.
Yep.
See, I guess this isn't going to be a clean sweep because I'm actually looking at it this way. They've been hyping Austin Theory up since Vince was in charge. Like, he was Vince's next chosen one after Drew McIntyre. And honestly, Triple H came in, and even during the end of Vince's tenure, they buried Austin. Had him lose to Pat McAfee. Had him lose to who the hell else ever you could think of, he's lost to. Then he gets the United States Championship after using Money in the Bank on it, which is typically meant for a heavyweight championship. That being said, I don't think this is the pinnacle of the Austin Theory slingshot. I think this is just a hype spot. I think Cena wins it and loses it on the Monday after Raw, or the Raw after Mania. I don't have a pick yet on who wins it, unless maybe Seth Rollins. After Seth beats Logan at Mania. But I see Theory dropping the belt to Cena and this being used to really push a serious Austin Theory snapback arc. But I'm picking Cena. And I hope that all made sense.
Yeah, no. For me, I'm going Austin Theory. So I think, they definitely pushed him, but not only just pushed him, they allowed him to showcase himself. I think of things like the Elimination Chamber last year and even a little bit this year. And matches that he's had, he's been able to showcase his abilities enough at his young age. He's good on the mic. I love that promo that he hit in the empty arena. That takes a lot of skill to be able to do that with no crowd. And
that was impressive.
I was impressed by this kid in that. So that tells me he probably is the real deal. Now, I'm not saying it's in the next year, 3 months, 5 years, right? But I do think he's got something to him. I think John sees that as well. And I think John is going to help put him over in a sense. And I do think Austin could beat John at this WrestleMania. And then that just builds Theory's character even more as the cocky heel taking down the great John Cena.
Okay. So I'm the odd man out this time. I put Carlos's hat on for this match because the other 2 times that we've had 3-on-1s, Carlos has been the odd man out. This time it's me. I like it. I like the heat being on me for once.
I like that we're given a lot of different thoughts, and I feel like that's going to be, I'm going to say the Twitterverse or the world, right? Like everybody has all these different thoughts of how things are going to go. And I think we're kind of showcasing that for them.
And again, if your theory came true, I would love to see Jay White. I'd love to see Jay White debut in WWE and take the belt off of Cena. If your theory became true.
Jay White. Ooh.
It's interesting.
I mean,
build a star.
I can see it, or is that in the talks? Jay White debuting with WWE?
Yeah, he finished up with New Japan. He lost a loser leaves one to, I forget the guy's name, Hikuleo, I think it might have been, in New Japan, and then so he lost a loser leaves New Japan match. Then he lost the loser leaves New Japan to the United States, Eddie Kingston, in San Jose. So he's a free agent right now, and it's been rumored that he's signing with WWE.
Interesting.
I think if he was going to be I think he was going to AEW. I think he already popped up. Is my opinion. So I do think he's coming in to WWE.
Interesting. Anyways, so we're 3-on-1 right now for that match. Let's move on to the next one on my list of hype. And by the way, we are now moving into the list of 5 matches that I've given serious consideration to that I think could steal the show. And we're going to start with the women, or the Raw Women's Championship match. Asuka versus challenging Bianca Belair. Carlos, you went first last time, so pick the next victim.
One of you guys can go first. I'm gonna go take a leak.
All right.
Thanks,
well, then
Andre.
I'll start with my tag team part of the hype over here. So go ahead, Brian. You go first.
All right, man. My stance hasn't changed on this, and Carlos already knows where I'm going, but Asuka will win this championship for 2 reasons. It says, 1, time for a little fresh start. It's time for Asuka to really show who she is. 2, it's time to save Bianca Belair. So, and what I mean by that is she's done well with the title. If she keeps it any longer, Roman Reigns, she is not. And she won't do as well with a very, very, very long reign. So I feel like Asuka will win this championship on Saturday, Sunday, whenever this match is taking place. I forget. And I also see it lines up too perfectly. The Great Muta is going into the Hall of Fame. He was her trainer. He will be in her corner that night. Not confirmed. That's just completely through my sources, and my sources are me. Okay, so basically I feel like the narrative is there for the Great Muta to be the corner man for Asuka to win her title at WrestleMania.
So wait, that's a piece of news that I wasn't familiar with.
This is just in his head. This is just in Brian's head.
No, it's in my head.
No.
My sources are me. Like
No,
just
The
me.
hype sheet. The hype sheet.
Okay, but he did say something that sounded like fact. So Asuka was trained by the Great Muta?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep. If you notice, she's been doing a little more with the mist lately, playing into that a little bit.
Yes, I've noticed for sure.
Getting a little more evil. I see it lining up too perfectly.
Oh, okay, I'm going to keep that in mind when it circles around to me. Carlos.
So so I'm not with Brian as far as the Great Muta coming here, but I think Asuka's definitely going to win. I love the video package that they did for her this past Monday on Raw. I feel like we should have got that video package a month ago because it really just kind of brought back the hype to her and really just showed like what a badass she is. Like, I mean, you're talking about a former Royal Rumble winner, her streak on NXT. Like, she's a badass girl. And I think this is her. I think this is the return of heel Asuka, and I think that she's, she attacked Bianca last week. Not too hard. I wish she would have came at her harder, but I definitely think that. I can't even see them playing an injury angle. I can see her taking Bianca out, put her on the shelf for 3 months. I think Bianca could use that kind of break away from TV. But I definitely think we see she won't be called Kana, but you're going to see her come back as full badass heel, and she's gonna go heel. And we'll see her on a run like she did in NXT, where she'll just go through every challenger that she has. And I predict Asuka all the way for this one. And because again, she's turning into the Wardlow of WWE, where she just lost all of her heat, and I could care less about her. She could just go away for a while, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, so definitely give me a full blown heel Asuka, kicking ass and taking names.
Dante?
Face or heel, I think this is Asuka's time. I think this WrestleMania moment is well deserved for her. I think she should have won it the first time. She came in
When she lost to Charlotte, yeah, that was bullshit.
She came in, however many years ago. She was red hot. she had the NXT streak going for her. And then Charlotte just came and beat her because, they just got a hard on for Charlotte. And I think this time, now that, Trips has taken over, he's probably just like, this is going to be Asuka's time. She's going to win this year.
Here's your interpretation, guy, right? Impersonation.
She dropped the ball last time. This time, Asuka's going to win the women's title at WrestleMania. Yeah. I think it's well deserved for her. Bianca Belair, hell of a champion. She's been champion for long enough. Asuka deserves her WrestleMania moment, and I think she's gonna get it.
Is this going to be a sweep again?
Well, I'm just gonna say this. Given, I have absolutely loved every bit of Bianca Belair's year-long reign as women's champion. And honestly, I would not mind at all if it continued, because not only is she an amazing in-ring worker, but goddamn, she's one of the sexiest women in WWE today. But given the recent trend back towards her old Kana persona that she had in New Japan and the extra theatrics / badassery that she's shown, I'm going to say Asuka. Yes, this is a sweep.
Yeah.
But again, I would not mind at all if they chose to give Bianca the rub here.
And she loses her top. Okay, we get it.
Yeah, and
repeat that, Carlos.
And she loses her top during the match. We got it. Okay, we know what you want.
She's had a good reign. I don't, and since it's been so good, I just don't want her to get stale in the fans' eyes. So
and they made her stale with that. I think they made her stale with her feud with Alexa, which was like keep her out of that creepy shit. Like it just needs something. She needs a refresher.
I mean, yes, that has gotten repetitive, going from the creepy Bray Wyatt-esque shit with Alexa to the green mist and just what the fuck is this look that we've gotten for Asuka. I can agree with that point, Carlos.
And I like what Dante said too, because I think that's the thing where Triple H, where he is a better booker than Vince, like as with the women. So I and then going back to what you said too about the women's roster. I think this WrestleMania is finally where Triple H puts a stamp on what he can do. And I do look for all the women to really showcase during WrestleMania. And I think this is where Triple H shows where he's different than Vince, and he really showcases the women and what they can do at WrestleMania. So I do see, like you're saying, this being Triple H's moment, like fixing what Vince fucked up in the first place. I like that. Totally agree with that.
Wow, that rolls perfectly into the next match on my hype list. Because the fuck up from 3 years ago, which I will say 3 years ago was a unique situation because
the pandemic,
a certain international superstar's visa had expired right at WrestleMania deadline and had to go back to her native Australia to get it renewed. And WWE didn't know when she would be available to come back to TV, hence leading to their decision to have her put Charlotte Flair over 3 years ago. We now get the WrestleMania rematch of Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. And let me fix the image in the upper right. That being said, Bryan, Carlos chose you to start the last round, so you pick the next victim.
All right. Let's go up to Dante.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much all got the same answer here. I think it's just like what I said with Asuka. It's Rhea Ripley's time. Shit hit the fan last time during COVID mania, so it's kind of they're just like, all right, let's try this again. Yeah, and especially, dude, Rhea is now more red hot than ever. With the whole thing with the Judgment Day. I mean, you hear how over she was at the Rumble. I mean, everybody loves Rhea Ripley. Again, to me, this is just so obvious. Charlotte hasn't been doing much. It's Rhea Ripley's time to be the queen. She's gonna get a WrestleMania moment. I think it's well deserved. Going with Rhea.
Okay, so it's up to me. Got it. Before we get into it, Dante, here's another example of me just wanting to bust your balls for a second. I know.
He looks intimidated.
He doesn't give a shit.
He's all bring it.
He doesn't give a shit. I mean, I know I do, and I have since she debuted in NXT back in 2018, thought that Rhea Ripley, during her whole transformation from having the long blonde hair and the cutesy look to even to now, has been one of the hottest women on the planet. I think she's sexy. What about you, Brian?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely.
Carlos?
Again, I'm a gay man, but as a gay man, she's sexy as fuck. Yeah, she has that it factor about her. She has that dangerous vibe to her.
Carlos, I did not know that. Thank you. But even the gay man agrees. Dante does not think she's hot.
No?
No.
Okay.
No, she don't do it for me. I mean, she
doesn't have red hair. I mean, come on.
I think for me, it's the intensity. Like, I like her intensity, and there's something that draws me in there.
I'm gonna be honest.
Do you think she's not pretty because she might be able to whip your ass? Is that what?
Maybe a little.
I mean, I'm going to be completely honest.
You probably want her to whip your ass, right?
Being completely honest, if I'm looking across the room at a chick that I know damn well could kick my ass, that's going to give me a fucking raging hard on, because that is the hottest thing ever. Ronda Rousey.
Because our sponsor Blue Chew.
What was that?
Our sponsor is Blue Chew. Now it's time for our sponsor, the Blue Chew, right?
But yes, line me up for Rhea Ripley. Line me up for Ronda Rousey, Misha Tate, Paige Van Zandt, any one of them. They are the sexiest women on the planet to me.
You can get in that line. Rhea Ripley can knock on my door right now and be like, "Hey, Slice Man, I want you so bad." I'll be like, "Oh yeah, you got the wrong house. He lives down the street."
Oh my God.
Hell of a worker, but nah. I think.
Anyways, that being said, given the whole shtick 3 years ago that apparently Rhea was originally supposed to win the WrestleMania 36 match, had it not been for her visa expiring and her having to go back to Australia, get that renewed, and them not knowing how long it was going to be, I think this is when they make that, when they set the record straight. I think this is Rhea's night. Brian?
There's a reason pencils have erasers, and this is one of them. Rhea Ripley is going to correct that wrong from a few years ago. I'm going Rhea Ripley. I'm intrigued by the idea of a female champion with a stable of males. And I don't know if we've ever seen that story before. I mean, in the WWE, right? Like, where the head of the table, so to speak, was the girl, and the guys are kind of the backdrop in that a little bit. So I'm intrigued to see what they can do with that. It's kind of a fresh concept.
Now, okay. I'm going to extrapolate on that. Was there not a point during the run of DX that wasn't China the Intercontinental Champion when the rest of them had no belts?
She wasn't part of DX anymore, though. They already broken up.
She was past Latino and all that.
Okay.
Sexual chocolate, maybe? You might be more in that era.
Because that's when Stephanie jumped into Triple H's bed, and then that's when she broke them up and all that kind of stuff. So.
Okay. Carlos, what's your call on this match? Is this going to be another clean sweep?
Oh yeah, Rhea Ripley's totally going to win this match. Like I can see, you know, the con man Dom with her, you know, maybe causing a distraction, helping her win. The thing that I find interesting about this match, though, is I feel like after Rhea wins, like they need to obviously find Charlotte a tag team partner and keep her away from the singles matches for about 3 years. Because again, one thing where Vince didn't do Charlotte any favors was with her hot potato in the title so many times. And, you know, and like she's already a 14-time champion. Like you're going to have, what's she going to be, like the 30-time women's champion by the time she finishes? Yeah. So I feel like after Rhea wins, I feel like Charlotte needs to find herself a tag team partner and just stay in the tag team division and not fight in singles for a while and let the fans miss her, because I just feel like it's like she needs to give these other girls a chance. So I definitely think Rhea's going to win. It's going to be interesting to me because this is going to be the main event of night one. And again, I just think I want to see how they're going to deal with because the fans are going to turn on Charlotte. And again, that's why I think maybe Dominic's going to be in the corner there to help keep Rhea as a heel and help her win. But I definitely see Rhea winning this match for sure.
I'm going to correct you there, but this is not the main event of night one.
Yeah, it is. I thought it was announced.
There's another match on night one that I think has more of a.
I think tonight I know what you're talking about, but I think when they announced the card today on ESPN, they confirmed that this is the main event. We'll see, but I thought so.
Well, they might be doing it. They might have done it as the main event because it's the 2 Royal Rumble winners. But
it's the whole politics thing because the women were pissed that they didn't get a main event last year, and so they've been politic again. I agree with you that it should be the Usos, Sammy, and KO as the main event of night one. But the women have been politicking backstage, and again, to where they're pissed because they didn't get a main event last year. So they've been trying to say that they should be the ones main eventing night one. And I think they got their way according to what I read today.
I mean, storyline and build wise, it doesn't make sense. But
I agree with you. I totally agree with you 100%. But it's been said that it's going to be the women. It's going to be Charlotte and Rhea.
Well, that being said, you can erase the last 2 in this match tonight because I was apparently wrong on what we meant. But we do have a clean sweep on Rhea winning the SmackDown Women's Championship. So we have 3 clean sweeps on this card. Nice. Which tells me we probably have 3 matches where we're all following. We're going to move on to the slugfest of the weekend. The Intercontinental Championship Triple Threat match. Sheamus and Drew McIntyre challenging Gunther for his belt. And who went first that last round?
Dante did.
Dante, pick your victim.
You can go ahead.
Oh, fuck. I
can go first if you want me to. You want me to go first?
Please, because I was hoping to hear you guys talk before I pick the pick.
All right. So this is gonna be one of those ones where Brian and I talked about. So I'm going to change my pick, and I'm going with Gunther on this one because I think that, again, if you look at the history of the Intercontinental title, the Honky Tonk Man is the longest reigning Intercontinental champion, and I see that being something that Triple H wants to fix immediately because Honky Tonk Man was a joke of a champion, and so I see Gunther keeping the title. I think Gunther will beat the Honky Tonk Man's record, and my prediction for this eventually is I do think Sheamus eventually beats him. But I think when Sheamus beats him, it'll be Sheamus putting his career on the line for one more shot at the title. It'll be Sheamus's career versus Gunther for their kind of title. Sheamus will be eventually the one to beat him for the title, but it won't be at WrestleMania. I see Gunther retaining the title here on Sunday.
Okay.
Because I think they need to erase Honky Tonk Man from the record book. I think if you think of the lineage of the Intercontinental title and how many great champions they've had, I think it's time. Gunther's almost had the belt. He's had the belt for almost over 200-something days already. I think in June it'll be a year. I see him breaking the Honky Tonk Man's record and definitely being the longest reigning champion.
Okay. That being said, I will take my call now.
All right.
I honestly think with the build of the fact that we have a limited number of Grand Slam champions in the WWE, and they've made a sticking point of this whole storyline that the Intercontinental Championship is the only belt other than the Universal Championship, what have you, that Sheamus has not held, for him to put himself in the history book. And the fact that he has been, over the past couple years, dealing with the same type of injury that had temporarily set Edge's career off. I think they're going to give Sheamus the big rub here. I think Sheamus wins this match. Dante and Bryan, whichever one of you wants to go next.
All right, I'll jump in. Man, I just took so much convincing to get Carlos away from Sheamus from Sunday and challenged him and said, change one pick.
Yeah.
And I think you may have just undid that work there because now he's like leaned back in his chair and he's going, oh no, I made the wrong move. What am I going to do? I'm going to lose at WrestleMania. No, all joking aside, I feel it's going to be Gunther. They like what they see with him. They didn't like his physique. the guy worked like a beast.
He lost a shitload of weight.
Yeah, I mean,
all three of those guys, all three of them got in fantastic shape. All three of those guys have transformed their bodies.
Yeah, and Gunther got to a point where the physique, the WWE body that they like to see somebody like that at. So that shows that usually is rewarded. Some of that reward came with the Royal Rumble appearance that he had, which he was
starting at number 1, being the last man eliminated.
Yeah, he was the marathon man, and those guys usually, and it was crazy because when we were watching it, and my wife, she goes, "Wow, they're really starting to like Gunther, aren't they?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they are," and that's somebody that doesn't watch this and doesn't see it right today. And for me, I was like, man, they really are probably going to push him in the next year. And I'm going to go into the fact that the Triple H wants that Intercontinental title to mean something again. And I feel like a long title reign with possibly a future champion is going to be the way to do that. So my pick is Gunther for this match. I feel bad for Drew McIntyre because there's so much promise with him. And I felt like he could have been the guy. And I'm not saying it's over, but man, he's kind of just in oblivion over here. And I hope he gets back to the promised land. But I do believe that Gunther will be the champion walking out of here, building to something bigger someday. Sorry, that was a little lengthy. So.
Okay, yes, Brian. Going by what you just said, how Drew McIntyre, during COVID mania, he was the man, and now he's kind of like mid card. That is the reason why I'm actually going to go with Drew McIntyre in this match.
Nice.
I think he is deserving of a WrestleMania win. He kind of got dicked over with COVID mania a little bit. He won in front of nobody. I see him winning this match. I think the crowd will love it. And I see him pinning Gunther. And I see Sheamus kind of being like, hey, I never got pinned. Next thing you know, we got a little feud going on between buddies, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. I'd like to see that. So that's why I'm going with Drew.
Yeah, no, I think they're all solid picks. And honestly, I said this the other day, I'm not going to be mad at if anybody wins this match, because I think they all have cases to be made to win. So
it seems promising, this match.
Okay, so we have the guys from Wrestling Incite picking Gunther. Dante picking sorry, as Caleb Braxton would say it, Gunther!
Exactly.
Walter. Yeah.
Yes.
Can we do a fist bump up and you go down, right? Is that what we do? Boom.
Maybe.
I'm waiting for you to get me. There we go. So we got 2 picks for Gunther. Dante over here picking Drew McIntyre, and I'm saying Sheamus. So we're wide open on this match. Out of 3 choices, we've got a vote for each, and we got a second vote for one. This is going to be good. Next match on the card, Hell in a Cell. Edge versus Finn Balor. Well, since I had been selected to start the last one and didn't get to because I couldn't make up my mind yet, and gave that choice over to Carlos, I will start this one. Honestly, you've got the Rated R Superstar who's been hot with a vengeance after getting kicked out of his own fucking stable. And then you've got the Demon King, Finn Balor, who Edge has been calling to bring out the demon persona. And in his promo Monday night, I think he's all but confirmed that he's going to do so. That being said, I'm hearing rumblings of a full reunion, meaning all 3 members of the Brood for WrestleMania. And if that's
Christian won't be there.
Oh, I'm hearing Tony Khan has given him permission to show up for one night only. And if that is true, Edge all the way. Bryan.
It's interesting. It's I've heard the rumors. I haven't heard the Christian rumor. I think it would be kind of a bonehead move by Tony Khan if he did that. He can't play nice with WWE. They don't play nice with him, right?
Honestly,
They just book Stand and Deliver on the same night as Double or Nothing. I mean, there's no way. There's no way he's setting Christian over there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's no way.
It's a shame because I do believe Tony Khan is a genuine. He's like opposite of Vince. Like Vince is just all business, right? And Tony is just a nice guy, and you could tell he's like super fan, and he wants to do things that are cool, and he wants. I'm going to use my analogy again. He wants Spider-Man to fight Batman, right? He wants to see this kind of stuff, Forbidden Door, if you will. But with that being said, I'm going to go with Finn Balor. I went back and forth on this, of course, and I tend to flip-flop on it. But final shot, I am going to say Finn Balor, or I should say Demon King, Finn Balor. That is my pick as the Demon King, if it is the Demon King. I feel like Hell in a Cell fits. I feel like this is Finn needs a win. The Demon should not be losing. This character was built up, and you guys have known the NXT days, and it was built up, and it was just badass and cool, right? And
he's lost a grand total of twice as the Demon.
Yeah, and he lost
the fucked up match with Roman where the ring ropes broke.
Yep, in Columbus
and
here.
Once against Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I believe, NXT, right? Isn't that where he lost? Yeah, and so for me on the main roster, I'm like Extreme Rules, and again, they had a way to get out of it with the faulty rope, but you can't let him take a crazy loss like this right now. I think there will be something crazy in the match. It's Hell in a Cell. Maybe something I pitched a weird idea of maybe a coup de grace from the top, right? At some point in the match, maybe the cage is broken in the middle and he coup de grace him. I hope he doesn't break his ankle, but I could see him and Edge being like, yeah, we could do this really cool stuff that's, and them trying to do it. So that's my pick. It is the Finn Balor Demon King.
So I'm in agreement with Brian. We talked about this on Sunday. And that's the same thing we mentioned. First of all, Fergal, Finn's, he's a Triple H guy. So he's one of Triple H's main guys. I don't see Triple H having him lose as the Demon twice in a row. I definitely see Finn Balor winning this match, the Demon King. Again, he'll beat Edge. Again, it'll be a great match. I think, this match, has just like the triple threat match, it could steal the show. Again, Hell in a Cell. I'm ready for this feud to be over. It's gone on for too long. But I don't see the Demon losing twice in a row. I see Finn Balor pulling this one out as well.
Dante?
Yes. Okay.
Is it a 2-on-2 or a 3-on-1?
Okay. Dude, I have been thinking about this one for 2 days off and on. I'm like, man, this can go either way. It really could. It's another one of them things where it's like my heart and my brain, I kind of have to separate them. I'd like to see Edge win here. As a fan, I would like to see Edge win here. But yes, it is 3-on-1. I am going to go with Finn for multitude of reasons. Okay. One,
it's a handicap match now. Just saying.
Oh, I'm getting my ass kicked. Got it.
But you like that, so
as a fan,
only if it's by fierce women. Okay. Get your story straight, Carlos. Get your story straight.
Yeah. But, Finn Balor, I mean, he was the first Universal Champion, main event guy, didn't really last too long. I think he's well deserving of a WrestleMania moment. Plus, you got to think, this WrestleMania, I think, has a lot of baby faces going over. Okay?
Yeah.
And you can't have too much of that. Okay? Also, one of the main reasons why I'm going to choose Finn, because I believe... when did they have that tag match? That was at the Rumble. At the Rumble, it's like when it was Judgment Day versus Edge and Beth Phoenix. Edge and Beth Phoenix. It was at Elimination Chamber. Was it? Okay, yeah.
Yes, Elimination Chamber.
I knew it was one of the two. Edge and Beth Phoenix got their revenge. And I thought that was it. You know, they won, they got their revenge because, you know, Judgment Day has been dicking them around for the last year. And I thought that was it. Because they got their revenge and finally, you know, kicked the Judgment Day's ass at Elimination Chamber, that's why I think they're going to give the win to Finn. That's my main reason for choosing Finn here. You know, like you guys were saying, he needs the win more. Especially with the whole demon thing, I think potentially moving forward, he could be kind of like the new Undertaker or Triple H with the Hell in a Cell thing and the demon gimmick. I feel like, just like you guys were saying, the demon gimmick, it works perfectly with Hell in a Cell. Like, you know, back in the day, it was Triple H or the Undertaker who were kind of like veterans of Hell in a Cell. I could see Finn being taking that spot. And for those reasons, that's why I'm going Finn.
Okay, so apparently we are another 3-on-1 me getting my ass kicked match. Got it. By the way, Carlos, where the fuck Bryan go?
I don't know. Did he have to use the bathroom or something? I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, so right now we are at 2-2 with being the odd man out here, buddy.
You and me?
We had 2 matches earlier where you were left out in the cold where everyone else disagreed.
All
Now
right.
I'm the one getting jumped. Now we're going to move on to the last match that I thought was not a candidate for a main event for either night. And apparently I've been wrong because we've already covered one of the main events. But we're going to talk about the match that I think has the highest potential of stealing the weekend. Hopefully Bryan pops back in here at some point during this discussion.
I know what's
But
coming.
Father, what?
I know what's coming. I know which match is next.
But I'm going to say, who would know a wrestler better than the man that trained him? Who also would know a wrestler better than the child that watched that wrestler their entire life? The match that I think is going to steal the entire fucking weekend. Father versus son, Ray versus Dominic. And also one of the more interesting slow burn builds this year because they didn't even confirm this match until the Monday before Mania. Which, Carlos, you and Bryan had to inform me of because I had said when we were leading up to doing this episode that we would have to discuss this match if it happened, as if it was going to happen, because I thought it would be announced Friday. Did I not?
Yep.
And you and Bryan had informed me that no, it was confirmed on Monday because unfortunately my sorry ass has to watch once it gets uploaded to Hulu, usually a day or two later. That being said, we're going to wait for Bryan to jump in here. I've already said I think this is stealing the weekend. So how's about you start this one off there, Carlos?
So when we were talking about this in our podcast, I originally picked Ray just because I thought for storyline wise, it would make sense for him to win. But this is another match where I'm going to change my pick. I love Dominic Mysterio. Again, I'm one of his few fans. I think as soon as he turned heel, I think him as, you know, like calling Dom, you know, like lifting weights with Sheamus, lifting the 10-pound dumbbells, like everything he's done has been great. Calling his dad a deadbeat dad because he only got in the BMW, you know, I think him with Mommy, like I think he's done some really good work. I think he's killed it as a heel. Like he gets like those boos, like that go away heat, and he's a good heel. So with that said, I'm going to pick Dominic Mysterio to win. I think Rhea will be in the corner maybe to help Dominic win. And I think that way, you know, Ray, I mean, I think Dominic wins, and I think you have Ray chasing him, you know, asking for a rematch, and Dominic kind of just ducks him for like the next year, you know. So maybe next year, WrestleMania, maybe when Ray retires, you know. But I think Dominic's going to win this match. I'm picking Dominic.
Okay. Dante?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, you know, you got the whole you got their whole family tree wrong. Eddie Guerrero's Dominic's father.
This is his real dad, right? Yeah, it is his father. Yeah, exactly. And again, when lie cheat still, I think Dominic's gonna come out the lowrider on Sunday too, and have a bump in and stuff like that. Maybe like he's gonna totally pay homage to Eddie Guerrero on Sunday because that'll just add more heat to the match. Absolutely.
Yeah. I have Dominic because we're pretty much all on board with Rhea winning. I'm on board with Finn winning, and if Dominic wins, then pretty much everybody in the Judgment Day wins. They look strong because they're so over right now. And honestly, do you think Ray is really like, oh no, I want to beat Dominic at Mania?
No, he's gonna want to put over his son. Exactly.
He's absolutely gonna want to put over his son. I think everybody in the Judgment Day is gonna go over. Dominic needs the win, and dude, Ray is gonna look strong as shit. Okay, he's gonna be whipping Dominic all around that ring, giving him a spanking. Okay, but I definitely see Dominic, whether it be on some BS or whether it's a clean win, I see Dominic winning, just because it just makes more sense to me.
I want to see Angie hand Ray her tongue clogs, and him was spanking Dominic on his knee would be awesome.
Yeah, I could see him doing something like that, sure.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I messaged Ryan after he disappeared. He said his computer or his he had to reboot his router. He'll be back shortly.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm gonna say this. So we have 2 votes for Dominic so far, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's hope that for once Bryan is the odd man out, because as much as I would love to see Rey Mysterio and storyline wise after disrespecting one's mother, you deserve to get your ass kicked. I would love to see Rey Mysterio slap the shit out of Dominic in this match. But something that Dante had mentioned, I want to see a change up in music for this match. I would love to hear Dominic enter to this.
Viva la raza!
What do you think, boys?
Heck yeah, I'm down for it.
I wouldn't put it out of the realm.
By the way, I couldn't hear it through the headset. How clear did that come across?
No, it was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty.
It could come good.
Okay, but you mentioned him coming out to the lowrider, Dante.
Yeah, I did.
Yes. Oh, you did, Carlos. I'm sorry, but yes,
Yeah.
I would love to see that. And given the storyline with Ray being inducted like Friday, and this match being, if I'm not mistaken, on Saturday.
Sunday, I think.
They announced it for Sunday?
I thought so. Or maybe it was Saturday. I have to forget the posters.
I'm looking right now.
All right.
Night 1, SmackDown Women's title, Undisputed Tag titles, Becky, Trish, and Lita versus Damage Control, Seth versus Logan. No, it's on Saturday. It's on
Okay,
Saturday.
nice.
But with Ray getting inducted to the Hall of Fame Friday, and with the multiple shout outs of Dominic saying, I wish Eddie was my dad, because he's now said it twice. I can definitely see him pulling off a lie, cheat, steal moment to win this match. I'm picking Dominic.
Well, they also said, I think I read too, I think I read this, that they're supposed to pay homage to the LWO on Friday. And there's been rumors too that Legado del Fantasma was going to join Ray out to the ring. So you can also have maybe Legado turns on Ray and then they form the LWO. There's so many different possibilities they could do, But I think Bryan did pick Ray. So unless he changed his pick, it would be the 3-1 against him this time. So.
All right, so we're going to keep talking about this until he gets back in. Because he did say his router was rebooting.
All right.
But can I say that I have loved the story build to this match? Especially in the inclusion of Angie and Aaliyah to the chat, or to the storyline with them being there last Monday.
On Friday.
Or that was Friday?
Yeah.
Wait.
They're at SmackDown on Friday.
Oh shit! Yeah, I was at work at the hotel, and you told me, yeah, that was made official like earlier tonight. I'm like, fuck. Yes, it was last Friday, but I didn't get to watch it till Monday, so I apologize. But like Angie and Aaliyah being part of the story, being roped into the storyline with him telling Angie to shut up, being what ultimately made Ray snap. Oh my god, I think this might be the best storyline into Mania, like as a single Mania match build.
Well, I think too, like what you're talking. Like, so I think like the one thing like WWE should do more of is like using their social media. Because they have a big social media following on Twitter. They have a big social media following on Instagram. So I think it was really smart to like when they did the videos of them being being at Thanksgiving, Ray's house for Thanksgiving, then doing the video for Christmas, and then the one for Valentine's Day, like doing all that stuff where it was on social media. I think that was a smart way. It's just like when they did the QR code for Bray Wyatt. It's just a different way of getting fans engaged. Showing why you should follow us on social media and beyond that. So I think like you said, I think this was a really good brought up feud. And even like I asked on Twitter because I'm like, what's Dominic gonna have to do to get ready to take this match? And we all kind of concurred it was gonna be having him go after his mom. So him finally go call, yelling at his mom because Ray couldn't get Ray to budge. I think it's like you said, it's been really well done. And again, I know a lot of people want to see Dominic get his ass kicked, but I do think that he does win. I think it's like you said, I am glad you rated this one so high because I agree this has been really well done, and I think it's been a really good build.
The only thing that makes me question my choice of picking Dominic for this match is the fact that there has been so much speculation that it would lead to Dominic taking over wearing Ray's mask. So that makes me kind of think that Ray might win this match to build up to either next Mania or SummerSlam or something for the rematch for Dominic to get to win then to take over the legacy. But I'm not changing my answer. I still want to say, given the storyline built now, I want to say Dominic.
Well, because they can always fight again. They can always fight again at SummerSlam, and that's where Ray gets his coming up. That's where Ray gets the win. And again, and just to put this out there, Vicky Guerrero is going to be a free agent in July, so maybe she can join up in the storyline by SummerSlam, and then they can always fight again at WrestleMania next year, and that's where Dominic takes his mask. Because I know Ray said, I think he said before, like, he wants his son to retire him, but I know he's not ready to retire either. I just think it's sad they had that, because they couldn't get Batista to be in the Hall of Fame because he's shooting a movie, so they had to pivot to Ray. I wish they could have waited for his Hall of Fame for another year or so.
The other thing I'm hearing, that yes, part of it does come back to Batista not being able to be in LA because he is shooting the, what is it, Guardians 3? Is that what he's working on now?
I think it's a movie. I think it's a movie for Netflix or something, I think.
Oh. Either way, I do know that Ray has mentioned in recent interviews and recent articles that at 48, he still feels amazing. He still wants to keep going out there, and that he's kind of had the number in the back of his head of 50, 50, where he wants to hang it up for real. So that means we got another year to 2 of Rey Mysterio as an active competitor. So that could tie us over to Mania next year, being where Ray does hand the mask down to Dominic. Bob Cummins gives a comment. What is this? Where's the girl? Bob, you're watching the wrong show, brother. This is Mooncutter Sportscast, the sports talk show. The girl, or Kate, as I'm sure you're referring to, is on the Supernatural Rewatch show, Wayward Guns Rewatch, Wayward Guns Rewatch here on Mooncutter Sportscast, or on RunningForce Productions. Dear God, I can't talk right now. But Bryan has finally rejoined us. What's up, buddy? Where the hell did you go?
Did you fall asleep?
I looked over. You all disappeared. I look over at my router. It's blinking. And I'm like, oh, no. And so I had to reboot the wireless router and the modem. And then my laptop.
You had to use the bathroom. It's okay. You're not going to make this extravagant excuse. Be
the
honest.
laptop didn't reconnect to the Wi-Fi, and I
Now,
had to reboot
we
the
all
laptop.
know. We all know that the real answer is you had to go shake hands with an old friend.
That's what it
Jesus.
is.
He's in there with me.
Wow.
But either way, we've been like biding time here, going over every aspect of a certain match that we were waiting for your
appreciate that.
answer
Thank you, guys.
for. And it's on screen now. So what's your shot? What's your call?
So just so you know, Brian, this is another match I changed my pick, so I'm going with Dominic in this one now.
You going Dominic? Okay.
Yeah.
Me and Dante will just remind you of our picks once you give yours.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm definitely going with Ray on this one. This is his Hall of Fame end. This is his way to put that stamp on his career. And I can see the argument for passing the torch to the son. And I totally get it. If you guys go that route, it makes sense to me. But just because Dominic has been so, a jerk during this whole thing, I think Ray has to get some kind of win and validation. So I am going to go Ray. Maybe Ray does lose, but the win is he gets his son back. I don't know.
Okay. That being said, Brian, I just want to tell you,
You are the
brother,
weakest link.
you are the odd man out on this match because all three of us picked Dominic.
Man. Okay. So I leave for a little bit and my tag partner over here. You swayed.
Yeah, I'm going to this podcast now because they love Dominic Mysterio. Where all I get on our podcast is shit on for liking Dominic. So I just might be joining this. I might be switching teams now.
Carlos,
our other counterpart, Heather.
Carlos, anytime we're talking wrestling, you are more than welcome to join us, my friend.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Our other counterpart, Heather just gives him the business for liking Dominic. She hates him, can't stand him. So he gets beat up over there.
And then another podcast friend of ours too, Shooting the Shiz. That's with this guy NWO Machine and Vader from Wish, and they just give me shit too because I love Dominic so much, and so I just hear from everybody. So,
by the way, boys, I'm surprised you didn't try to get John in on this episode tonight.
He got a new job where he's working late hours and all this stuff. So he's been taking on a different job, but he knows he's more than invited if he wants to come on here.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say I know I had you two last time.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were going to bring anybody else from Insight with you this round because they would have been more than welcome. Just saying. Either way, we are down to the two matches that I had pegged as the main events. Apparently, Carlos informs me that I am wrong as shit on the one. But we've got two matches left. We've gone through 11 out of a 13-match card. The next match that a lot of people are clamoring for is the matchup for the WWE Undisputed. Oh shit! Wrong banner.
No, you got the right one up there. Tagging match.
WWE Unified Tag Championship match: Jimmy and Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The tag team known or currently being called Chaosania. And who started that last one, Carlos?
I did.
All right, so pick the victim.
Let's go with the hype over here. Join us back again. Take it, Brian.
All right. So we've got Sami Zayn and KO. And what was their name again? Chaosania?
It's KO, man. Sami Zayn. It's WrestleZania and then KO Mania. They both on both different sides of the shirt.
Yeah, I just combined the names to Chaosania.
Okay. It's cute. Sami Zayn's had, this storybook type, year, right? From a long time away from the jackass stuff, as they call it. And he left his best friend, and then they were fighting, and he went to join the bloodline, and then they had this really tragic thing happen at the Rumble. And this is where Sami Zayn and his best friend from grade school win the tag team championship at the biggest stage of all, Wrestlemania. It's a beautiful Cinderella-like story ending, but unfortunately, not all fairy tales get a happy ending or deserve it. And the Usos are going to retain this title. And then leading into the next night, when, spoiler and prediction alert, Roman loses his title, the Usos are able to look at Roman and say, you didn't get the job done and we did. So your remaining undisputed champions, the Usos.
Damn, so this is the one you changed your mind on.
Yeah, that's a promo.
Damn. And that's the bottom line.
I decided to drop a promo for that one. So
okay, sorry. I was taken aback for a second looking at my TV in the background because I have been watching the Impact channel as we've been doing this whole podcast, and goddamn, I think one of the biggest shifts in character I think I've seen in a while was Taylor Wilde going from the bubbly blonde cutie that she portrayed back when it was still TNA with a 6-sided ring to the voodoo witch that she's been portraying lately. Took me back on a memory trap.
You're barely on that right now. I'm gonna send you a link so you can watch all your wrestling currently and get it for free. I'm gonna send you a link later on. I got you. No
Dude, I'd like to see that. Taylor Wilde.
But anyways, so Brian, you were picking who again?
Who was it, guys?
The Usos.
Usos.
You picked the Usos.
Yep.
Okay. Just making sure I heard that correctly.
Yeah.
Because I think
not
it's
all
going
fairy
to be.
tales get a happy ending.
I think this is going to be another round of you being 3-on-1.
I'm okay with that.
But Dante, you're next, buddy.
You know what? I don't think it would be out of the realm of possibility for the Usos to pull this one out. However, I think the main point of this match is, all right, look, long story short, I'm going with KO and Sami Zayn. Okay, I think pretty much everybody is. The whole point of this match is for KO and Sami Zayn to take the Usos out so they are not involved in the Roman Cody match. That's that. I think this has been building for so long solely for that purpose, because Roman's always winning on some interference. You know, Bloodline comes in and basically wins the match for him. I think this was all set up to where KO and Sami Zayn take the Usos out so we can actually have a one-on-one match between Cody and Roman.
Okay. Brian and Carlos, this is where y'all will probably want to gang up on me after my hot take during a Rumble build-up.
When we say we're getting the main event, we're returning to main event Jay Uso.
Main event Jay?
We're going to win the Rumble.
Y'all already starting on me, so you know exactly where the hell I'm going. But because of what I said previously about, I think the one that's going to take the belts off of Roman being main event Jey Uso, this at Mania is where the Usos are going to fall short. The Usos are going to lose the belts to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Roman is going to blame the loss on Jey. Jey is going to get ousted from the bloodline, branch out on his own, and start kicking ass to build up to Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso at SummerSlam for the WWE Undisputed United WWE Universal Championship. Which, by the way,
spoiler
alert, you know who I'm picking in the main.
All right.
This match is going on last, right?
What?
This match
the tag team match isn't going on last. No, it's not the main event.
This is probably going to be the semi-main on night one.
Vince always likes to send them home happy.
Well, that's why Rhea versus Charlotte is the main event.
Okay.
As Carlos so succinctly pointed out earlier.
All right, so here's my if you guys don't know, so on our podcast we talked about who like a long time ago, like even before I started breaking out, who was going to buy the WWE, and I think the Saudi government is going to buy the WWE. I eventually think they're going to be sold to the Saudi government because I think they're going to pay the price that Vince McMahon wants. I know, I know what you're saying, but I think it's because it's going to be the way Vince gets to make his money, and he gets to keep control of his company. So I think with that being said, they're going to be sold to the Saudi government. So before that happens, they got to take advantage of Sammy and KO while they still have them, because once that happens, they're going to both ask for their release. With that said, I think Sammy and KO win. I think it's their, again, you can't have Sammy lose to Roman and lose this too. Again, they're going to have to utilize it while they can, because eventually they're going to be asking for the releases from WWE. But I definitely think that they'll win and they'll utilize them while they can, because eventually they're going to want out of WWE once they get sold to the Saudi government. Sorry.
Well, if the Saudi royal family buys WWE, as Carlos is saying, I think it's safe to say to the Jew, bye-bye, Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
And bye-bye to the entire women's division. Do you really think WWE would be dumb enough to pull that one, Carlos?
They're not going to say bye-bye to the women's division, because the reason that the Saudi government would want this is they're trying to stay face. So they're going to want a women's division. So they're still going to have the women. I mean, the women have been showcased more on the Saudi shows, and that's what it's about them. It's about them trying to show that they're more civilized than they really are. That's the whole point of them wanting to even have WWE over there in the first place, was to try to to kind of put lipstick on a pig, if you want to just put it that way. That's the whole reason they got into live golf. They own they're in a lot of businesses. So it's just what I feel with Vince coming back. I feel like that's what he wants. It's not going to be the end of the women. There might be some women that leave, but I mean, you've already seen Becky, you've seen Charlotte, you've seen Bayley, you've seen all these different women go and fight in Saudi Arabia. So again, it's going to come down to Vince wanting getting what he wants. If Vince wants $9 billion, and he'll get it from the Saudi government.
Interesting take. Okay, I can kind of see it, but I also
think, and here's the other twist to this is I think it's going to be an epic failure. Don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be an epic failure, and I think in 3 years Vince buys it back from the Saudi government for $5 billion. So I think he's going to make his money. I think it's going to crash and burn, because there's going to be a lot of backlash, and I think Vince buys it back and owns the whole thing for about $5 billion. So that's always been my prediction, and I stand by that 100%. That's a very Vince McMahon thing to do. No. Look how Vince financed WrestleMania 1. He used the money that Crockett paid him to get off of TBS, and that's why he started his whole empire in the first place. This is a very Vince McMahon thing to do. Trust me. It's just my prediction. It's here in YouTube space. Whatever happens, becomes true.
Okay. Hold that thought, Carlos. I'm going to turn this over towards Dante and Bryan real quick. Dante and Bryan real quick, as a three-man side discussion. Do we need to make sure he actually has his tinfoil hat off? Or is this the hot take of the night, or what, boys?
Maybe Vince becomes president of Saudi Arabia, and then he rips off the guy, and he's like, "It was me all along."
Damn it!
No, it was me. Damn it! So
it was me, Austin. It was me all along.
I honestly, they're gonna sell. I honestly hope they wouldn't tear that into storylines too much. In all reality, they do have shareholders to think of. I know the shares and the stocks are a little bit heavily skewed towards Vince. But ultimately, there are still shareholders that they have to think about. So they're going to try to maintain the same steady pacing of story and keep the fans engaged, because let's be real, if there's no fans, there's no money. And they do have partnerships and TV deals that will sustain them for a good 3 to 4 years. And that I'm just kind of telling you guys this as a shareholder. Like, I've heard some of the stuff on the meetings, and So, but I mean, I don't think they would want to make waves in the business. So,
Okay. I hear you. What the hell was that?
they definitely have to be careful of how they go about business, because if the fans will revolt on them a little bit if they change too much, too fast, too quick.
I agree, and I think now would be a great time for a sponsorship moment. This episode of Mooncutter Sports Shop or Mooncutter Sportscast brought to you in part by Reynolds Wrap. Anyways, now we are going to move on to what is known to be the main event of the entire weekend. A match that I kind of already spoiled my answer to, but I will give better justification why I feel that way in a minute here. But we're talking about the winner of the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble, Cody Rhodes, trying to finish the story against the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. And who went first on the tag title match?
Bryan.
I did.
All right, Bryan, pick your victim.
All right, this time I am going to tag in the tag partner. So let me go this way. And
All right.
I was hoping you'd pick him.
He's in.
All right, so again, this is one of the ones that I changed my mind on. So originally, when I picked this, I picked Cody, and then I saw Monday Night Raw, and what I mean by that is, if you watch Monday Night Raw, Cody gave Solo Sikoa his first loss, and this is a very WWE thing to do when you're going to screw somebody over. So like, and what I mean by that is like, so you give the people something happy to go home to. As far as like, okay, so you got to beat Solo, you got to give him his first big loss because you're not going to defeat Roman. And with that being said, I again, like kind of going back to like what they've been saying is I think there's been talks that Triple H created a new WWE title approval. I think that's going to be for a new WWE championship. And what I mean by this is I think that Roman Reigns is going to retain on Cody. I think Roman Reigns is going to hold the title for over 1,000 days. And the one thing I'm going to hold on to, though, is I do think that we see The Rock at WrestleMania. So I think Roman beats The Rock. I think Roman beats Cody. I think The Rock comes out to activate Cody's getting his ass beat. The Rock comes out to save him. We get a whole year build up to Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania 40. But I also think that Roman's going to take a big break after this. Because he's going to say, I beat everybody, I have no more challengers, so I'm taking a hiatus because I'm the tribal chief and I can do what I want to do. With that being said, WWE is going to come out with a new championship because they need a champion to be on TV while Roman's gone. And I think that'll be a tournament where Cody will win the title that new title at WrestleMania Backlash. And I do think that whoever Roman loses to will be at SummerSlam. I think it'll either be main event Jey Uso, or I think it'll be Rollins, and I think The Rock helps them win at SummerSlam to help, to finally take the title off Roman, because I don't think Rock and Roman needs the title. And I think the thing that people have been thinking about, they thought the Rock coming back for WrestleMania Hollywood was the big thing. But for me, I think The Rock coming back for WrestleMania 40, again, it's a celebration of 40 years of WrestleMania. I think The Rock's going to come back for WrestleMania. It's going to be 40. I do think he comes back to fight Roman at WrestleMania 40. And again, I think that this is something that WWE likes to do. Can Cody survive this little bump on the road of not winning the title, and how does he react to it? Before we make him the guy, we got to see how he's going to react to losing this big match. I mean, again, we all think Triple H is this great guy, but we also got to remember Triple H is the guy that went over on Booker T years ago at WrestleMania when Booker T should have beat him at WrestleMania. And Booker T had all the momentum in the world. So
because Booker, guys like you don't get to be world champion.
Exactly. So again, that's not. You gotta remember that's Triple H. So again, I see Roman Reigns holding on to this because again, just like I said with Gunther having beating the Honky Tonks title, again, it's gonna be somewhere where Vince steps in and goes, "Damn it, I want Reigns to have the belt for over 1,000 days, pal." And I just see that happening. But again, I see him taking off taking a hiatus, and then them having to say, well, we need a champion for TV. They come out with this new championship, and then that's where Cody Rhodes finally gets his world title. So that's my prediction.
Okay. Brian.
All right.
Carlos gave us a lot to unpack there.
That's a lot to
Yes, I
dissect.
did.
So I'm going to go the route with my pick. There's an old saying of analysis to paralysis, and I'm not going to go that route. So I'm going to not overcomplicate it because I will overthink every little thing. For me, I had this vision from back way even before the Rumble of Cody winning. It's the final match of the whole card. I had this vision of Cody fulfilling his dream. Like everybody else, it's probably very predictable, right? But he wins the title. He ends Roman's reign. And Dusty Rhodes' American Dream plays over the speaker system as Cody ends the pay-per-view with a championship on his shoulder and a tear in his eye.
Okay, so we got 1-1 here. We got a Roman and a Cody. The Dream Team is split up. Okay. I think this one might go 2-2. Dante, what's your call?
Dude, this is Cody's time. All right, plain and simple. All right, of course, WWE is going to throw you little hooks every now and then and try to make you believe, oh, Roman might actually beat Cody. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I got some proof here. Roman might actually beat Cody. No. They want you to think that because they don't want it to be too predictable. Okay? They don't want it to be too obvious. There's really nobody left. Okay? Somebody's got to beat this dude, man. Cody is the guy. He is the perfect guy to do it. I think that Cody has built himself up for years and years after he left WWE. So finally, Vince sat back and go, you know what? Maybe this guy should be my guy, my moneymaker, the face of the company. And I definitely think he is worthy. This is the Cinderella story. It is his time. I got Cody all the way.
Shit, and I grabbed a bite of popcorn because I figured you would talk for a minute.
There's really not much to say, man. It's
okay.
They're building him up.
Okay.
I also think
simple.
I hope I'm wrong because I would love to see Cody win, but it's WWE.
If not Mania, I do think there's an agreement in Cody's deal to have a championship. You are not getting him away from being a shareholder of a company and giving up full creative control over everything without some promises along the way. So, I definitely think there's something baked into the deal that Cody, I think this was the vision all along.
Yeah.
You ready?
Okay.
Yep.
On me? Is it on me?
It is.
Okay.
Tell us what the dirt sheets.
Well, fuck the dirt sheet. We'd already discussed. I kind of gave a spoiler in my answer for the Chaosania match versus the Usos on who I thought was going to win this one. And it is going to tie back to a gut feeling I have had from the get-go. Something that I think Brian just said something about, having had the same deal. But I'm going to say this. I've said it from the beginning. Ever since the Thunderdome days, when Roman started his almost record-breaking title reign. Sorry, I don't know why I'm waving popcorn in my fingers. It just feels like the thing to do.
You got the drunk munchies going on?
A little bit. You might hit me onto something, Carlos.
Yeah.
But I've been saying, and something that you two know damn well from our Royal Rumble episode, my prediction then was that who did I say then was going to dethrone Roman?
Yeah, main event. Yep.
Main event, Jey Uso. I still think that's going to be the case. I just think WWE threw us a curve and is going to postpone that big moment until SummerSlam. That being said, Cody turned his back on WWE, asked for his release, went elsewhere, and started to build up WWE's biggest rival in the past 20 years. What makes you think that Vince or Hunter or whoever is in charge of writing is going to give him the world title after deciding to come back on hands and knees? He's not winning the strap. He is not winning the strap. There ain't no way in hell. Ain't nobody going to convince me that he is going to be the next champion. He's going to get rolled over at Mania. It's going to keep going and keep going and keep going until Jey Uso, the longest storyline in the past 30-year history of WWE, the first time they've actually taken a stab at long-term storytelling. It's going to end with Jey Uso beating Roman for the belts. There ain't nothing changing my mind.
And what you said does tie into to just like the fact that they couldn't let even Sting beat Triple H, because at the end of the day, even though they won the war and took WCW out of business, they had to take one last shot at showing that WWE was superior to WCW, and they had to let Triple H win. So again, I hear you saying that if they let Cody win, it's like saying that AEW is superior to WWE, and they might not let that happen. But I also agree with those guys that, if it's Cody's time, they built him up so well. But again, they can also say it's going to happen later on. Again, it's a toss up. Again, like to me, like what I've seen with them as far as letting him beat Solo, that just put the red flag on me. Oh my God, they're totally going to go with Roman Reigns. So again, we'll see. Because that is a very weird thing to do, to say you can't have people thinking that AEW is superior to our product. So we got to make Cody wait a little bit longer.
All right, and I'm going to also throw this in the hat. Dante, I believe you and I are the only two on here that have actually been in the business. As far as I'm mistaken, Carlos, Bryan, have you two ever been involved in the actual wrestling business end of things?
No, not outside of production. No.
All right. So Dante, how familiar does this saying kick in to Cody Rhodes, who walked away and came crawling back after Tony Khan didn't want to give him his way? How many times have you heard well, you're starting at the beginning. Time to pay your dues, kid.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a very common thing that is always said in wrestling. But it's 2023. You can't just act anymore like Cody Rhodes never existed for the last how many years? Okay. Every wrestling, I didn't watch wrestling for a while. I knew Cody Rhodes was out here killing it, whether it be in AEW or wherever he's working. He built a name for himself. Okay, look at what he did for AEW. He put AEW on the friggin' map. Okay, who's to say he can't do that with WWE? Who's to say Vince or Trips can't say, okay, let's see what you can do here outside of the ring too, and build the WWE up more than it already is. Everybody knows Cody Rhodes exists. This isn't like back in the day where you just act like other promotions don't exist. Okay, people know, because of things like the dirt sheets and all that shit. Okay, they know Cody Rhodes is out there killing it. He's earned it. He's made a name for himself in the wrestling business as a whole. Okay, that's why I think they're going to run with him.
And I would like to add on. I don't believe Cody came crawling back. I believe Cody was recruited, and with recruiting comes negotiation. With that comes an agreement. Also, it's in the WWE's best interest, in my opinion, to keep Cody happy, because he carried a very important role in AEW, and he knows all of those wrestlers. He knows all of their contract dates and when it's no longer tampering to talk to them. And he knows way too much about Tony Khan. And I think the benefits of a happy Cody far outweigh the benefits of an unhappy Cody in WWE.
And again, I hope I'm wrong too, because that's something I said on our other show too. because I did originally pick Cody to win this, and that's what they have this. That's not just Cody that's on the line. If they want an MJF, if they want a Wardlow, if they want a Jade Cargill to come to WWE, they got to show up. If they want a Ricky Starks, they got to show all these guys that are over there. Hey, if you come over here, we're going to treat you right. But again, it's like, so my heart, I want Cody to win, but in my brain, I'm just thinking they're not going to do it. They're going to make it wait longer, and they're going to go with Roman Reigns. And so I'm torn on this. And again, I'm just playing devil's advocate because Brian Shaw's going to do that. And again, I could see them keeping the belt on Roman, and just install Cody because they want to see how Cody's going to handle this. If we do throw you a curveball, are you going to handle it correctly, or are you going to be like an old thing we had to do Stardust, and you're gonna become a little brat again? Sometimes you want to throw somebody a little fork in the road and make sure that they're still going to handle it right. And before we make you the company, the man, we want to just make sure that you can handle this one last test. So and it's a very WWE thing to do. Do I think it's the right thing to do? No, but I could definitely see that's a definitely WWE thing to do to keep the belt on Roman, And again, like I do think The Rock was back, and I think whoever beats Roman will be at SummerSlam, and Rock helps. If it's Seth Rollins or Jey Uso, I think it happens at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm all about the Jey Uso main event Roman story that you're proposing. I like the long-term story booking. I love, for the record, I do want to see that match. I think it does make sense in some capacity. So I do want to kind of go on record saying that I do like that idea that you have. So.
And don't forget, Drew McIntyre did that. Drew McIntyre left. He was the chosen one, too, from Vince's eyes. He left, proved himself on the Indies, proved himself in Impact Wrestling, then came back, and he got the WWE title. So, they have a track record of doing this stuff.
Okay. Going over our entire list of predictions for the night, I think it is completely hilarious that I have been the odd man out on a 3-on-1 twice. Carlos has been odd man out on 3-on-1 twice.
I have, right?
And Brian. You flipping him off now?
Brian has been odd man out on a 3-on-1 twice. And yet the one person in this group that has not been the odd man out at all is this guy.
The slicing assassin.
He's Team Switzerland. He's Switzerland, dude. Team Switzerland.
I was once with Drew McIntyre.
No, that one, no. Because they both picked.
It was 2-1-1, yeah.
That was 2-1-1. That's not 3-on-1.
Okay, you're talking about 3-on-1. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you guys. This whole evening got me more excited for WrestleMania. I think we did the WWE's job tonight by making this super interesting because, for real, I'm sitting here going to be thinking about these conversations we had while watching the show now. And I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, they were right. Or, oh my gosh, I could see this playing out. And I'm like, dang, why didn't the WWE do that for me? But it's cool because, I would have got to do this.
Sorry, Brian. Can I just say I'm sitting here like, oh shit, I'm gonna start eating my popcorn and tuning in, and I'm the one hosting the damn show.
You find up with that Christmas tin of popcorn or what?
I don't know. I bought it from the Boy Scouts.
Okay.
What kind of popcorn is that? What's that, caramel?
Yes.
See, I just knew it. I just knew you were eating caramel corn.
No, I'm a lot more excited for Mania.
But anyways, yes, me too. Well, I'm sure Carlos is extra hyped for Mania now.
Oh yeah, I got the day off, dude. I'm excited. I'm excited to watch it.
Which day off, Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Early out on Saturday?
Late in, so I get to watch. I'm only working from 6 to 10, so I'll get to watch John Cena and Theory, then I got to go to work.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know about Sunday yet, but I know my schedule will not allow me to watch night 1 live. I will have to watch that because that night I am working a double shift, 3 to 11, driving the bus for the hotel, and then 11 to 7 at the desk. So I will probably start night 1 once the replay gets uploaded to Peacock at 2 a.m.
Well, if you try this before, like if you try to watch the first 5 minutes of it and pause it, you might be able to watch it whenever you want. Because I did that at work the last time where I was starting to watch Elimination Chamber, and then when I went back into Peacock, it started off where I left off.
That's a good pro tip.
So just try that. Just turn it on when it first starts, and then when you go back in, you might be able to get it before because it'll pause you where you left off. It worked for me before.
Interesting. I may have to try that. It has not worked for me since they moved from WWE Network to Peacock.
I'm definitely off WrestleMania weekend, and like anybody that knows me knows it's WrestleMania weekend. It's like I'm busy, so everybody and I try to make sure I catch it live. It's obviously one of my favorite things, right? So that and the Rumble are always my go-to. Like, nope, I got to see these if I can. So. What about you, Dante?
Yeah, I don't work weekends. That's when I watch my daughter. So, but I do have band practice on Sunday, and I'm gonna tell those guys, hey, look, I'm gonna run the set, and I'm leaving. I'm not staying in bullshit for 2 hours.
There you go.
Mania.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't go to see it, but I spent all my money on AEW, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I told my boss at the hotel that since she has me working a double shift, 3 p.m. to 7 a.m. Saturday night, that she better not schedule me Sunday. So hopefully that means I will be able to come home.
Yeah.
Watch the Saturday replay during the day and then go to sleep, wake up Sunday afternoon to watch the Sunday night. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm definitely all in, ready to go. And I do want to make a Mania live sometime. I know next year's in Philly, and I'm in Ohio, so that's not too far away. And I'm like, ooh, I could drive over there. So I'm checking out with friends and like, hey, what do you guys think next year?
Well,
I don't even know what tickets cost, to be honest. I'd have to really look.
Well, Brian, I'm right in West Virginia. Dante's in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So if you decide to make that trip,
just pick them up on the way.
Yeah.
Let us know. I'm sure we can probably have you and Dante park in my driveway or what have you and drive from my house and road trip it.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do this live in Philly.
Yeah, I'm basically just trying to get it. I put in to get like the updates for like tickets, and I just want to know how much it costs and kind of like, is it possible? Is it really just too ridiculous?
I mean, they're kind of expensive these days. I know all the 4 seats. When I went to WrestleMania 31,
yeah,
we were in the 100 section, and it was only $200. It was $265 back then. So yeah, I can only imagine what it is now.
Yeah. I mean, I figured if I at least just find out, then I can just, hey, anybody and everybody who wants to meet up and go, and just kind of, even if it's a night or something,
I love Philadelphia. I went down there a couple years ago, and I fell in love with that city.
Yeah,
a cool ass city.
So, well, very cool. Yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind because, yeah, you guys are right around the corner too. So,
well, I would say at that point, let's get the Mooncutter Sports Podcast GoFundMe link updated so we can go to Mania.
Right.
Either that or guys, fans out there watching us, please share the links to our YouTube page so that we can get some money coming in from sponsorship.
We can put our cash apps on our Twitter accounts,
Trust me, all funds to the Cash App go directly to our WrestleMania attendance fund.
There you go.
I'll act like one of those homeless guys in downtown Pittsburgh. I'll get a cardboard sign and say, just trying to go to WrestleMania.
Right.
we can film this live next year at the Rocky statue, with CM Punk t-shirts on.
Fuck the CM Punk t-shirt. I will be wearing the American flag fucking boxing trunks and gloves.
Well, because he's never seen Rocky, so.
Yeah, honestly, I was never a big CM Punk fan.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's getting late. It is now 1:11 a.m.
Yeah, and I definitely got to get up
or
in the morning.
12:11 or 10 p.m. for Carlos, you lucky bastard.
I'm going to watch Impact Wrestling as soon as we finish with this, just so you know.
Oh, man.
But anyways, Carlos, Bryan, guys, just like I said after the Rumble episode, you guys have made my Wrestlemania. Like, I am more excited to watch this now than I could have possibly been without this discussion.
Absolutely.
And I cannot wait until, what is the next one of the big five? Money in the Bank?
We can get Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank? Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, that's what. The big five is what? WrestleMania, Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank's big five. Yeah, Money in the Bank. I agree.
SummerSlam, Survivor Series.
Money in the Bank. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'll be reaching out to you guys within the build up to Money in the Bank. And as always, guys, let me know when you guys are recording. If you ever need a guest, let me know, because I would love to join you guys for your stuff.
That sounds good.
Yep.
And Dante, nice meeting you. Nice chatting with you too. Thank you for joining us. Yep.
Now, before we log off, Dante, since you are the new member of the RunningForce Productions family, you want to give the fans a heads up of what to expect on your new show?
Oh man, what not to expect? It's just gonna be me and this guy bullshitting about anything and everything, wrestling, music. Might do a little bit of Ranger talk, Power Ranger talk, whatever we feel like talking about.
So
each other's balls.
The vibe he's given me is a more low-key version of the JRE, where every week is going to be a certain subject that we completely rip apart and take both sides of. Yeah, I'm still waiting to see what exactly this mad scientist has in mind. But just know that starting in the next couple weeks, cranking it out with Slice and Moon will be a thing, and it will be probably controversial.
Oh yeah, dude, I don't even know what I have in mind yet. See, the creative juices are flowing.
But anyway,
I say you guys just drink 2 bottles of wine and go from there for every show. You know.
I mean, it seemed to work out well for me tonight.
There you go. Over 10%. Over 10% alcohol.
I'll get some real wine though.
There you go.
Well, apparently the Chardonnay I was drinking was 49.
Yeesh.
Or it says Chardonnay 49%. So I don't know what the fuck that means.
Oh, wow.
Oh, 11.5% alcohol. That's what I started with. Then I moved to the 9% stuff.
Okay, now that's acceptable. 11.5. Yeah, that's acceptable. Your average wine's about like 12.
Well, I drank the entire bottle of 11.5. Then I moved to the 9. So shut up.
Well, all right. Okay. All right. You get a pass then. Yeah. Well, no wonder you're crushing your caramel corn.
The munchies are real, man. The munchies are real. And I didn't even have to touch the devil's lettuce.
That's right. You're allergic.
Yeah, I kind of am. But anyways, let's start with the guys on the bottom. Well, on the top of our hearts, but on the bottom of your screens. Carlos, Bryan, tell our fans where they can find you.
So usually we're going to be taking the next 2 weeks off, but on April 16th, we'll be back on Twitter Space. We record every show is on 3 p.m. Eastern time, Twitter Space. Every Sunday, Wrestling Fan Incite. Then you can catch us there.
Yep. Twitter handle at the Bryan Adkins, Bryan with a Y. And then I also, in addition to being on the team with Wrestling Incite, have my own called Tap Out Talk. And I usually try to cover stuff that we don't do on the other show. So it's more just my channel that I started up, and it's on YouTube. And I try to, do at least once a week about various things, pay-per-view reviews, pro wrestle crate unboxings, that kind of thing. So
he'll be doing his 4 a.m. Wrestlemania review this Sunday.
Yeah, it's an act of love as a wrestling fan. I mean, that's the best time is right after the event. So it'll be like 4 a.m. when I get done and upload it, because I'll be recording it all. And then the next day I'll be extremely tired, but it is what it is. I love what I do.
Make sure you guys are following them at their individual tags at C to the low 77, as you see on screen for Carlos. Since he has his nickname.
Yep. At the Bryan Adkins.
At the Bryan Adkins for Bryan. Follow their group page at WF Incite Podcast. Incite being spelled INCIT.
INCIT.
Like they're starting a riot, not like they're having insight like they know shit. Even though they do know shit, that's not the way it's spelled. Otherwise, you can follow Dante. Where can they follow you? Probably at the tag shown on screen.
Point to your left.
_Slice93 on Twitter. You can also find me on Facebook, Dante Slice Giordano, Giordano. If you add me, make sure you send me a message saying, "Hey, I heard you on a podcast." That way, I know you're not some kind of spammer who's going to put some, junk on my profile. Look at me, I lost 30 pounds with this miracle pill. Yeah, deleted.
The $29 Ray-Bans.
Yeah, pretty much. You can find me on Instagram at _sliceman_cometh, COMETH. And you can also find me on SoundCloud. I make my own music. I got my guitars and stuff behind me. Zachariah, ZAKARIAH. You check me out on there, and that's pretty much it.
And Dante, you forgot to mention the big one. Now that you are an official member with you launching your new show, you could also follow Dante as well as myself, RunningForce Productions on YouTube. It is, oh crap, let me fix that real quick. Going to be the logo that you are about to see in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Where is she? Right there. Oh, that's the background. Oh shit, let me fix that.
I was looking for the logo.
I almost had it.
There it is.
The logo that you see in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. God, this doing stuff backwards is impossible when you've been slightly intoxicated.
Slightly intoxicated.
Only 2 bottles deep. We're good. But anyways, you can follow Dante. The new show that's going to be debuting here shortly, like within the next 2 weeks. Cranking it out with Slice and Moon. You can follow that. Mooncutter Sportscast, and the Supernatural Rewatch podcast I run with my co-host Kate, all on the RunningForce Productions YouTube page. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, whatever. That is the quickest way to help us start making some money to give you guys the even better products than we already do. That being said, this is Geoffrey being joined by the newest member of RunningForce Productions, Dante, and our special guests, some old friends returning, Carlos and Bryan from Wrestling Fans Incite Podcast. One of a kind. Signing off, guys. Have a
Thanks,
good night.
guys.
Thanks,
Happy
everyone.
WrestleMania week, everybody. Let's enjoy the show.
And we'll see you next time. Bryan and Carlos, stay on for just a second.